Welcome back to What Remains. This is session number 47, entitled Arrivals. Last session, at the end of the session, which is where we're going to be picking up, Avran was laid low by a creature, um, a person.
A
Um,
former associate.
yeah, a person. The Train Master. After defeating him, a train sound kind of goes through the hall here, and Kelder, the elf's attention immediately shifts away from you. As it does fall into his initiative the very moment and beat after that um, raucous defeat. He immediately kind of looks off in a direction. You see his form kind of shift, and he moves his sword kind of up to like a perfect 12 o'clock position, and then very quickly spins the blade back, like down to the bottom and up. And as he does so, you watch as he disappears behind the sword, just vanishing, and then the sword itself disappears as well. Um, and then I will go ahead and remove him and all of his essence from the initiative tracker. But since we have a dying creature, we will continue with initiative. Estella, your lifesaver dagger is currently embedded in Kel,
Mm-hmm.
who's been running around with it stuck in him.
Yep.
It's
Um.
your initiative. Sorry.
Oh, it's my initiative?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it's not showing that on mine.
It doesn't have names, it's just the pictures, yeah. Except for me.
Weird.
Or at least on mine.
Yeah, it is weird. Anyways, I don't have enough movement to go
You
to
could bonus
Kel.
action dash, pull the dagger as an item interaction, and throw it, but you'd have disadvantage due to range.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Um. Yep. And disadvantage because he's prone, but you only have one disadvantage at a time.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an attack. 11 will miss. It pangs off of his armor. Aberrant death saving
Okay.
throw.
Sorry, bud.
It
Now it's
okay.
back to normal.
Alright, let me roll that death saving throw.
Um,
21.
Yep, you're
yeah,
fine.
it's more than enough.
It's a natural 20 for a return one hit point back, I believe. I will double check that.
Why do I have a mod?
A what?
I have a death saving mod.
No idea. Avran done. Oh, due to your original race.
Oh,
Oh,
Kel.
yeah.
All right, Kel. I'm gonna shoot. Don't want to keep Avran like that.
So you're doing what?
Make sure I could. I can't get close enough. I'll start running towards them.
Okay. Ezra.
Watching Kelder disappear, he's kind of like, "Whoa, that was a nice trick." Oh, all right, Avran. And then, yeah, he heads over here and he grabs Avran. He's like, "Avran, wake up!" As he smacks him, he casts Cure Wounds.
With the good hand.
Yeah.
Ah, sorry. Just clicking on that spell.
No worries.
Show me my spells. Come on. There we go. We'll just go ahead and just give him a level one. That is 10 hit points.
oh,
All right. Cool. So we can drop out of initiative.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming I'm no longer frightened.
Yeah, the source of your fear is gone.
Cool.
Well, him teleporting makes it awfully difficult to ask which platform the train's arriving in. Any chance I can make a decent guess based on where the sound might have originated from, or too echoey to really know?
Again, the temporal nature, or the spatial nature of this place is strange. So the sound kind of rang out through as if it were coming from all open entryways, including the front door.
So
And
why don't we just retrace our steps to where we met the Shadow Man?
Fair enough.
Soba! Do you
Yes.
remember how to get down?
it was actually up for the person that we had met before, but there's 4 other platform
That's right, that was
archways
one of
here.
these.
So we had come up along this top part, and that's where the ghost guy that we had talked to a couple times are. We have not gone down these 4 other sets of staircases, but in actual knock, they all lead to their own sets of platforms. And I believe the ghost was waiting for a train out of here. These are trains that are arriving. John, in the real world, are these separated into departures and arrivals in any way? Okay. And the platform that we've talked to the ghost, is that departures normally?
Arrivals.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's go try there first, and then I guess we'll just go one by one down these staircases.
Might as well.
Acceptable.
Ezra kind of grabs Avran by the straps of his armor and just hauls him to his feet,
Pick up my
dusts him
dagger.
off.
Ruben leaves 5 gold on the counter at the haberdashery and continues to wear the hat.
Ah, yes, another fine, upstanding citizen.
Let me guess. It's only a matter of time until you pull a rabbit out.
I'm a wizard, not a magician.
Okay, well played.
That was not his voice, but it's fine.
Okay, so you said you were going back to the arrivals, right?
Yes.
Okay, so apologies for the map shenanigans. They're just the way that it is. But yeah, it's not on top of the bridge. Obviously, it is underneath the bridge. But yeah, there is a train that has pulled into the station. It looks like it's a kind of bluish train. Not too dissimilar from, at least the cars behind it, not too dissimilar from the ones that you saw when you first peeked into the Dreadplane. It does look like there are kind of shades, the kind of just outlines of folks moving off of the train onto the platform and moving towards the stairs, all in kind of a uniform way. Some of them look familiar in size and shape, but they all have seemed to have been pulled down through this. Again, you saw them in a bit more of a corporeal state at the beginning of the train ride, and now you see them kind of in a state where they are nothing more than outlines, nothing more than this kind of apparition of the individuals.
So are they all have they been kind of...
More ghostified?
Mm.
Okay, but they're still distinctive individuals.
Not there's no features. There's just size and shapes that are familiar to you. Like the one that probably stands out.
Silhouettes.
The one that stands out the most is probably a pig. Like it's just a
It's that's obviously a pig.
that's a quadrupedal round thing that seems to be moving, but it doesn't really have the features. It's absolutely transparent.
Presumably, the things that were named in the arrivals section in the previous room. Do we see them from the stairwell, or do we have to touch the floor like we did with the old man?
When you touch the floor, the only person that illuminates to you will be the old man. Everyone else remains in
Okay.
a kind of same state, similar to the people that you saw on the concourse.
Mhm.
Is the guy there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is Kelder here?
Kelder, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Kelder does not appear to be visible to you at this stage. No.
Fair.
No loud noises.
Hezrod kind of runs down the stairs to the platform and starts looking around for Kel's brother.
Okay. So yeah, there are definitely features and kind of outlines that do look familiar to you. There's one that definitely stands out to Kel in particular as he's looking down at the individuals moving towards the stairs, and it very much looks like the silhouette in kind of ghost light of Zeus.
Are there any other merfolk?
Again, you can't tell it's a merfolk. It's literally there's nothing that's like tangibly noticeable, other than maybe like if you see it from the side, like a head tail. There's no features. Like it's just silhouettes we're talking about here. The reason why he can tell it's his brother is because he knows his brother's movement. He knows his brother's gait. He understands his brother's kind of just temperament, and even the silhouette
Swagger.
betrays. Yeah, there's a swagger to him, and even the silhouette betrays that.
Where is he right now? Just getting off the train.
Moving towards the steps.
Steps that we're on.
I'll run wherever he is. I'll try to get in front of him. I'll be like, hey, hey.
As you're kind of
Look at
like
me.
standing in front of him, I mean, he doesn't seem to have any recognition. There doesn't seem to be any movement that differs from him walking up the steps. So if you stand in his way, he kind of passes through you.
I'll follow him.
Okay. Yeah, so it seems like all the ghosts move up and then move towards the right.
Back towards the Spark Gate.
Yeah.
Hezrod gets kind of frustrated,
Mhm.
like trying to find Zeus, but he sees that like Kel moves with confidence in a certain direction, and he kind of assumes that Kel has found him.
I'll
And then he
definitely
looks
stand.
around. He looks around. He sees the guy they were talking to previously, and then he has an idea. And he runs over to this guy. He says, "You said you had a ticket, right?
Yes.
A golden ticket.
Yes.
Can I see it? What does it look like?"
He shows it.
Ezra snatches it out of his hand.
Okay. So
Let's go.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
I got a 19.
Cool. So as you touch it, you feel it tug at your very soul. And you feel the ticket is trying to pull your life force into it to replace his. And in that moment, you understand the nature of the ticket. And you relinquish it. And you still take 28 points of necrotic damage as you rip your hand away from the ticket. And he looks at you stunned and kind of moves the ticket away. And then you see his form just vanish.
Oh, fuck.
Well,
No! Oh, no! He kind of like lumbers back to the party and he's like, ugh.
Ruben, you're smart enough to know he's still there. He just is able to kind of shift between corporeality and incorporeality in this strange space.
That ticket's more for leaving here, anyways.
Ruben does not explain this.
Keep that one close to the chest, that's fair.
Shit.
Yeah, it seems like more and more start to kind of funnel off of the train, more of these shades heading up and to the right. You will note that at the end of the line, two individuals come out of the train, corporeal individuals. One of them is your good old friend Kelder, and the other is someone you saw at the arrival point who appears to be present here now as well. And that person is a fox-headed demon, also known as an Arcanoloth, who some of you may know as the Deceiver.
Love them.
Wait a second. Does Kelder
Deceiver.
work for the Deceiver?
I don't know.
Calder works
that's-
for Hero.
Why don't we ask them?
That bitch.
I believe the Deceiver also works for Hero, though.
You see that Kelder kind of points in your direction as you're kind of moving towards the stairs. Some of you are on the stairs already. And then he places his sword up in the air, spins it over, and he disappears. However, the fox-headed creature remains staring at you, Hezrod, as you are the closest.
So yeah, as they like come off the train and like Kelder points, Hezrod's like, me, my friend. Who?
Interesting. An uninvited guest. I wasn't expecting you to have made it so far through the mists. Tell me.
Oh, I think we took a shortcut.
Who was your benefactor?
I don't. Fiona.
Does everybody else leave?
Lola.
To be sure, it looked like Ruben was moving off and following the ghosts. Is that
I'm following Zeus.
okay?
I'm
Yeah.
right behind him.
Ruben, were you following?
Yeah,
and-
I went to the right when I saw the figures going to the right.
Mm,
Estella, Abram.
And
I'm waiting on the stair.
Yeah, everyone's gonna go with Hezrod. He's gonna go stand next to him.
Okay. So Soma, Kel, and Ruben go towards the right. Everyone else remains. Estella's
Okay.
keeping her distance. Got it.
Yep.
Okay. So real quick, we're gonna move to the Laserland. You should see a new addition. It's not exact, but it's close.
Oh, the barge.
There is a barge. It should actually be a little bit off to the side, closer to there. And due to just lack of my capabilities at current, it does have a bridge that kind of connects it across the water to its kind of main bulk there. It's
like a
certainly,
gangplank.
yeah, it certainly does not look like it. What the hell?
Didn't work well.
What just happened? It certainly doesn't look like it. Sorry, having some technicals. It certainly does not look like it is capable of hosting everyone. But as you watch, it seems that everybody seems to kind of gather on the boat's deck without concern for overlap. And as they kind of move through the lightning, it doesn't seem to address them as it did Hezrod when he first passed through it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, their forms just go through it like it's not even there.
Yeah.
Because they're ghosts.
Spooky ghost.
Jesus, I've spent so many. In light of what I said earlier, it now occurs to me that I'm pretty sure all the healing I've cast, with the exception of one spell, was on myself.
That tracks.
Am I able to fly over the lightning?
So as we discussed, the lightning pillars kind of shoot steam up to kind of creates a field above the lightning that would need to be passed through. So you
Okay.
can attempt to pass
you
through
can't.
that mist, but
Not yeah. So like even down the middle, like even though the pillars
Yeah,
don't
like,
appear that
it
way.
around
kind of
this.
it kind of comes up over them, and the lightning isn't exactly just a straight line.
Right.
It kind of cackles up and down. So yeah, they're just walking through the lightning, heading south towards the boat on the opposite side. These ghostly apparitions. Kel, you kind of move with your brother, and he stops at the lightning, just the silhouette of him, and you get this feeling like he's kind of looking over his shoulder back at you, and then he kind of looks forward and passes through the lightning. Like there's some momentary kind of like
Notices me.
a feeling of like recognition, but then determined, he continues to move with the group.
And he'll kind of do like a wait, don't. Oh. Okay.
Cutting from this scene back to the scene in the other room. Hold on. Again, my computer's doing weird stuff. So music's gonna dip for a second on my side, which means the stream won't be able to hear it for a second. I'm gonna talk over it because technical difficulties, and then happy fun time shift back to Hezrod. The question they fielded was, "Who is your benefactor?"
He just stares at him suspiciously. Doesn't say anything.
You were brought here for a purpose, I assume. It would spare
Yes?
you and me both a lot of time and trouble if you simply just stated what your purpose here is.
We're here for, Zeus.
I'm sorry?
Oh, also, to kill Hero, but, mostly Zeus.
You're here to kill the Dreadlord Hero Rockscale.
I guess, maybe, but I'm mainly helping my friend Cal find his, brother, cousin, relative, Zeus.
I don't think you understand the transactional nature of this place. You come here to acquire someone who has passed from the mortal plane. You must be willing to bargain,
You talk a lot.
and you don't. Nor do you think.
That's not really my thing.
If-
Well, there was someone named Fiona, and, I would ask her if I found something weird.
If,
And,
Mm.
I kind of wish she was here right now.
If you would like some assistance in helping your cognitive process, you hear their voice behind you. Just listen. And they look at you kind of coyly. You touched the ticket. You should understand how this works. If you
Yes.
just think about it. Good. So then, if you...
Why didn't you just say that?
I did just
Just
say
now?
that.
Yes. Never mind. You're talking too much again.
You're the one that
Tell me,
keeps
how do we bring
rambling.
Zeus back?
You try my patience. I am not offering you anything. You...
Okay, then be on your way.
No, you must understand. You are to be sent along on your way.
Where are we going?
Here, and as they raise their hand up, you watch as the Bitterheart spear just starts fragmenting into splinters, and the head of it just starts rotting into rust. And then they kind of grin as they kind of just move their hand to the side and it kind of falls to the ground. forever.
God damn it!
I do not know.
I mean, is there any window of time where I can make any use of that weapon before it's useless?
What were you wanting to do with it? If
Well,
it takes more than 30 seconds for you to think of it, then probably not.
okay. I don't want to just bail everybody out. I don't want to start a fight. He's gonna put all his normally destructive efforts, the sort of like focus and determination and energy that he would usually use for destruction. As this spear starts falling apart in his hands, he's gonna hold it and he's just gonna try his best to apply all that energy in the opposite direction. He's gonna try to undestruct the spear.
Okay, so for flavor's sake, and also just kind of I've mentally set a parameter here. When you say that, what mechanical resources are you pushing towards that effort? If you're just saying you're trying to will it to be, this is a simple equation.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, it's not an attack.
No. You don't have to say you're casting a specific spell. What I'm asking you is what resources, what energy are you kind of pushing towards this effort?
So I have one free use of a Channel Divinity. I have one use left of Embrace Oblivion. I mean, I'd be willing to spend a 5th level spell slot to stop that from happening.
Okay. As you kind of force your will into the spear and you watch it start to kind of break apart, you kind of angrily yell and you kind of force the energy into it, and you watch as they kind of go, and the spear kind of maintains its form, but it's now in the broken state. So what that means is if you were to use it as a melee weapon, it would then fall apart. So it's basically on its last limb. It still has all its benefit, but it's literally not a useful weapon anymore. And you see them just kind of annoyed and flippantly kind of move away from you like that and say, "Fine, pass through the mists, see what I care. Or you could join us."
No, I'm already in a band.
They could join us as well.
Well, that sounds like a lot of people.
You saw them all unload. Yes.
Oh, you want us to become ghosts like the rest of them?
I want you to join Hero Rockscale's army and break the barriers
Why would we do that?
of death itself. Because it's interesting to me, and it would be fruitful for you. Or you can linger here, or you can leave, I suppose, if you're willing to leave in the normal fashion with your trinket. Stolen, undoubtedly. You look the type.
Oh no, we found it in a hole, buried under a bunch of ice.
Usual excuse of a bandit.
Can everyone put his hand on Hezrod's shoulder?
Yeah.
Hezrod, I believe it is our time to go now.
That sounds like a good idea. This conversation is boring.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Walks over to where the ghost was standing and pulls out their pipe and just kind of starts smoking it as they seem to talk to the air. Their words don't carry any weight. There's no volume to them. So it seems like the transaction between them and the ghost is you can't listen in.
That's really
Doopy
interesting.
doopy.
Ethereal speech.
Ghost talk.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lead Hezrod to where everyone else went.
Estelle is on the step waiting for you. Meanwhile, back in the lightning room, The individuals have all now passed and seem to have loaded up onto the boat. Just kind of waiting.
Would I be able to try Misty stepping past the lightning?
You can certainly try.
Okay, I would like to Misty step 30 feet into the other side.
Okay. You appear on the other side without issue.
When I saw the ghosts pass through that graded area south of me, did any effect happen?
No, nothing strange happened. Looking at it as you are, you actually notice that there appear to be openings on the left and the right side. It also appears that the same is true on the sides of the lightning column south of you.
Okay. Like actual entrance lightning, or sorry, not
Like-
entrances not guarded by lightning.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is the two large kind of columns that kind of move
Yeah.
into the room, it seems that they came out of holes that kind of extend outwards out of this
Okay.
room.
Mm-hmm. So the big pillars that go like
Like
vertically
this. Yeah,
into the space, yeah.
the kind of brass and copper
Yeah.
tubes. Yeah.
And does anything? What about the grates themselves? Like, do I see like piping under there too, or like what? Can
Mist.
I determine any purpose? Mist?
Yeah, if you look
Okay.
down, there's just mist. Nothing but mist.
Interesting. I'm gonna hop on my broom and fly over that. I don't want to step on any of those grates.
Okay. No issue.
I assume the lightning column is also the same on the southern side, or is it different?
There's nothing wrong with it above the space, but at this point, the ceiling has dipped down so that it's not very far off of where the pillars are located.
Okay. So I would potentially be able to squeeze under the pillar, not where the lightning is,
Yeah, it would be
but I wouldn't be
precarious.
able to fly.
It would be precarious. If you were to fly through, it would be very precarious.
Okay, I'd like to fly up and land on the pillar itself. Is it slick?
It looks like it would be metal slick, but yeah, do you want to land on it?
Yeah. Now these gears down below,
What are you wearing on your feet?
boots,
Okay. What are they made out of?
leather.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Semblance.
Saving throw.
Okay. So there's definitely a charge that seems to be kind of present, and you don't really have the means of kind of distributing that charge safely through yourself, like a squirrel on a power line.
Yeah.
So it shocks you. It's not as strong as it would be if you were touching like the raw lightning. You take a total of 17 points of lightning damage. You are pushed off of it, but just because you have your broom, you're able to kind of like very quickly kind of catch yourself in the air, realizing that standing on that is probably not the best course of action.
Yeah. So
You could certainly move through that narrow space without touching the pillar at all, the column.
right. At a slow pace, maybe.
Mhm.
Okay.
Kind of do one
Yeah,
of those like tight fly throughs.
I'll do a kind of Harry Potter fly through there, getting
Sure.
a snitch or whatever.
You're able to get to the other side. And once you get there, you can see that the ghosts on the boat have a more tangible form at this point, more physically present, but there's still that weird kind of strange overlap. And where they kind of stack, like the spaces that they share, seem to be darkened with more kind of a corporealness. You can also see that the water itself is kind of misting on its tops, and there's a flow to it that seems to be moving out of this space. But the boat is still connected via whatever the thing that comes off of a boat.
Plank.
Gangplank,
Mooring.
thank you. And there's moorings as
Gangplank.
well.
Yeah.
Both of those
Um,
words are being used.
Okay.
So
Do-
under
Go ahead.
even under these, there's a bit of space.
No, not under them. No,
Oh.
they kind of slide out on tracks.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
You can kind of see them on the sides there, like of the pillars.
Got it.
Kind of like
Yeah, got it.
Oh yeah. I call out to the passengers. Can they hear me?
They do turn their attention towards you. A couple of them are kind of talking amongst themselves. Who's that there? Why is he glowing?
Um, John, did you mention your brother's name out loud? I heard like you were trying to interact with him, but did you like call his name out?
Oh, yeah, I would have been like, Zeus,
Okay,
Hey.
all right.
I know that's you. What are you doing? Get back here. Something like that.
Okay.
Where are you
Um,
going?
I'm going to. I don't want to come anywhere near the water, so I'm going to keep my distance from the surface as much as possible. But I'm going to try and get closer to the boat so I can try and speak with the passengers. And
I would say at about this point before we start that conversation, Estella, Avran, and Hezrod, you would arrive on the scene. Someone's probably standing close to the entrance, kind of waiting. I assume kind of tapping its... just sitting around waiting for you. You can see that Kel's kind of right at the lightning, and it seems that Kel's kind of locked focus through the lightning on, I'm assuming, staring at Ruben, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying to look around, figure out what's he can get past.
Get past as well.
So Ruben has navigated his way past the lightning.
You don't know. Ruben's not present.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, Hezrod doesn't know. I was asking out of character.
Out of
Made it a
character,
point
yes.
if they showed up.
Yes, Josh or Wombat has found a way through.
Josh is fine.
Okay, Josh has found a way through,
No, it's good to finally put a face to a name.
You three didn't manage to get any information out of the fox, I'm guessing.
No, but she tried to break my spear.
And as he's like coming down the stairs, he's like wrapping it up in these like blanket shreds he's been carrying around since like session 3.
So the Bitterheart spear looks like it was made out of like a series of brambles, kind of clenched together and kind of wrapped tightly. It now looks like someone kind of just pushed it on both sides and caused it to kind of splinter open. And now Hezrod is trying to kind of rebind it to not.
That's incredibly rude. Breaking things is normally your job.
I know! I managed to stop them somehow! It was amazing!
That doesn't sound like you at all!
I know!
But nothing about this gate. No? Just the spear?
It still works, I think.
Oh. It looks like you can teleport through the lightning. The guy that showed up just did that, but
I do not have that one prepared.
Yeah, this is...
And he reaches into his bag and he pulls out 2 bombs and he says,
I have another idea, though.
Let's hold off on that idea until people aren't near it. This is way, way outside my realm of expertise. Magic, lightning, not so much, but I do feel like exploding it while there are people nearby probably not going to be great.
Oh, yes. Oh, no. We'll wait till they get clear. Well, I wish Fiona was here. Where's the new guy?
Cut back to the new guy. So once you kind of like put forward the name, you see a merfolk kind of look up at you and say, "Tell him I got his message. Tell him I understand. I don't get to go back. That's not an option. And tell him if he means to do what he's saying he's going to do, tell him to stop. The only way getting me out of here is sacrificing himself. And I'm not going to let him do that since I already sacrificed myself so he could be out there. I'll figure it out once I'm in there. And if there is an option for me, if this hero really is set on destroying the barriers of death itself, then maybe I'll be back sooner than I'd like." You then hear a, "What's going on? What's going on?" And you see a man kind of moving through the ghosts, kind of pushing them aside. And as he pushes the ghosts aside, they kind of like distort and become like ethereal matter, like they were just nothing. And he kind of moves to the edge of the boat that you're on. And he looks up at you and says, "Hey, you, what are you doing?" And he's not a ghost. He's a guy.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm talking to the ghosts. What do you think I'm doing?
Trying to take my job?
No, of course not. But what is your job while you're at it?
I'm the ferryman.
Ha!
Take
Name?
the
I
ferryman.
offer hand. The ferryman. Yes, quite.
Kind of reaches up and shakes your hand, confused.
Corporal hand.
Yeah,
Like,
physical.
No energy or anything like that. No
Nothing
weird
weird.
feelings.
I mean, he's cold.
Okay.
So that's kind of odd, but yeah, physical. He says to you, "Well, you're going about it all the wrong way. I wouldn't suggest hovering around here too very much longer. If you haven't passed the barrier by the right way of it, then sure, it could hurt you."
He?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Yes, the air here. It's you haven't noticed?
Yes. I quite. I just wanted to see these fine souls off and understand exactly what was happening. You see, this is a whole
Well, I'm not
lot
saying
of.
I'm not saying you're unwelcome, but if the lightning isn't clearing for you, then I can't let you on the boat. But if you were able to make the lightning clear for you, then certainly you're welcome aboard.
Um, where's
you'd like-
this?
I can wait.
Oh, yes. Could you wait just a moment? I need to get my affairs in order.
Oh, of course. And once the lightning is cleared for you, I assume then we'll be ready to go. I don't think their train master has sent out any others, and seems to be not acknowledging my requests for an audience. So that's fine. Seems a bit temperamental over the horn, anyway. Well, yeah. Feel free to get your ordeals in order. Once you've made the lightning passable, you can come over here with your physical body, and I don't think the mist will hurt you at that point. But I highly suggest moving away from them quickly as you can.
We'll do so. And might I just say you're doing a fine job?
Thank you.
Oh, where's this ferry going again?
Oh, to Hero's Castle.
Ah, yes, of course. Oh, silly me. Thank you.
Mm.
And I start hovering higher from the ferry, and I wave off.
Mm.
I tip my hat at him.
He has, I assume he also has a cap. It's probably like a bowler cap. That's the image I've got in my head of this ferryman. But yeah, you kind
I
of
tip my hat because I can do that now.
I bought a hat, maneuver through the pipe area, flying over the grate, and then stopping on the other side. You teleport across.
I don't know if I want to. I'm assuming the electricity is probably fairly loud.
Yeah, it's pretty loud.
Okay.
It probably would not be possible to kind of yell across to the others.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Then I will use my last Misty Step. Yeah.
You appear on the other side next to Kel.
I relay to Kel everything that just happened.
That fucking son of a bitch.
Mhm.
He knows I'm not gonna stop.
Well, he'd also relay the end part of that, where the ferryman is now waiting for Reuben to clear the lightning.
Right.
Yeah, I said.
And then-
"Listen,
and so
if-
now
if
they're
we
taking
need to
off."
go on the ferry. First of all, the mist is potentially a hazard for us, but I have stopped the ferry for now, requesting that he wait for me to clear the lightning for us. So there is that potential avenue at this point. But
Well, I certainly appreciate that. I just I ain't
I'm sorry I
just
couldn't bring
some
you with me.
No, you know, you did much better than I could have thought. At this point, I don't think there's anything that we can that I can think of to get past this for the rest of us. So,
Perhaps ask somebody.
Can we
oh
see?
well, look who it is.
Can we see the ferry?
Yeah.
From the balcony that we're at.
Yeah, it's obviously not you can't get the full gamut, and they
Yeah.
are still very much silhouettes from here. But yeah, you can see the boat,
Okay.
and it's not moving, just as Reuben had stated.
Yeah, I mean, if they're sticking around, I'll kind of walk back up the steps.
You hear
Of course.
a very loud grinding sound, and then a very twisting kind of metallic sound that sounds like blend a TIE fighter with like the brakes of a train, like at the same time. It's like that kind of like wailing metal
Like,
screech. Yeah, it's like sound.
Yeah.
It
I
kind of
should probably get that looked at.
goes throughout the entirety of the course that you're in.
Sorry, that's my knees.
And then you hear 2 toots of a train horn,
More.
which, again, for Nokian people, if you are in Nock and have been in Nock for a long enough time, 1 knock is an arrival, or 1 horn is an arrival, 2 is that they're getting ready to leave.
Well, it sounds like the train is leaving the station.
What? I honestly don't know what to do at this point. So,
Well, I don't think we can ask the ferryman from here, and
no.
we did not have a great experience with the quote-unquote train master, but
Definitely not.
that may be our only remaining option, other than perhaps seeing if we can find anything at the other platforms.
At least we know where he's going. We know where he's going. And I think ultimately I'm okay with that. For now. Even though he doesn't want me finding him.
So,
Estella.
oh, go ahead, Avron, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Estella,
Yes.
you have experience with obviously killing people, yes?
Not
Damn,
obviously.
Is that better or worse than, hey, elf, do you know about these elf things?
Literally,
Hey, murder lady, what do you know about killing?
Oh God, you weren't here when we
racial profiled
see
Estella.
all the silly shit he did in the pervert slayer.
Good God.
There's so much elf profiling in this game. I
You
suppose I
right
know a
fucking
little
back.
about killing.
Well, my main point is anything living can be killed, yes?
Are you asking me to kill you?
No.
He doesn't need any help with that.
Fair.
You heard what the train master said.
Yes.
I think we need to find a way to end him.
Hezrod has another idea. So you said Kelder had like this aura.
Yeah, thousands
Mhm.
of, or
Is
thousands
it like a
souls.
visible aura?
It's sometimes visible, sometimes, mostly not.
Mm.
I mean, does Hezrod understand what it is?
Yeah, it's the 1,000 souls
Screaming.
Okay.
screaming in unison.
He has another brilliant idea, and he races back upstairs.
Okay.
Oh,
You're
God.
going back to the concourse?
Yes.
Okay. So when
Suppose we follow him.
when we arrive,
Jeez.
Kelder's not present.
Damn it. I was going to ask if I could borrow a ghost.
However,
Go piggyback ride?
I like how Tom's just like, God damn it.
However, the things that are present, there are still a number of silhouettes that are present. In your kind of focus on the one that you were kind of intent on, I think Estella, probably not being as narrowly focused, would have noticed a couple had left the lineup and did not go towards the boat. Instead, they went in this direction, towards the concourse, and are now acclimated amongst the number that are kind of acting in a typical fashion for people in a concourse of a train station.
Right.
But again, are nothing more than silhouettes. The other present options here are the other stairways
Hmm.
and, of course, the main rotation of the path that you've already continued on. Seems these three are interconnected, and then the path out into the fog, your escape, if you will.
Right.
Now, I want to make sure I stress something here very, very, very much. I want to make sure that everyone gets it so that you do not lose hope, as you have done in other strange locales. I just want to make sure that this is stated. There is a solution. Okay?
That's like my thing.
And there's actually more than one. There's several solutions. One of those is just leave it. That is always an option. But
Well, that was not an option in the tomb.
it
True.
was not an option in the tomb. It was
Very true.
it was an option in the
Sifford's Pass.
Siverd's Pass, though.
Hmm.
So it is an option. You certainly can take it, but it could be a situation where in Siverd's Pass you kind of leave before the easier parts. It could be a situation too that you didn't explore enough to understand enough about the locale. Again, you haven't really explored the entirety of the space.
There are other platforms.
There are
and stuff and
staircases that
stairways.
lead down, yeah.
Those staircases kind of line up with the entrances of those pipes or those pillars from earlier, correct?
They would, yes, except there's that, again, strange interdimensional jaunt that happens in between. So it's not guaranteed that they connect directly, but yes, if it were a physical space and it were connected realistically.
That's where they would be, yeah. Okay.
Suppose we could explore other platforms.
What was the leftmost path, or sorry, the westernmost path?
It loops around.
it
So if
loops
we
back-
continue, yeah.
Oh,
if we
this
continue on
one?
the
Oh,
upper
yeah.
part up there, it comes back to the lightning gate.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay.
So the only paths that have been explored are the staircases that lead to the large steps. So you've only moved on the top paths. In this room, there are 4 other paths that have stairs that lead down into the ground.
This is the only room, right? With the 4 extra staircases?
There appear to be methods to exit the other positions, but they're not identical to this, no.
Hmm.
Okay.
As Josh had pointed out, they are kind of close to the same kind of area as the lightning pillars.
Soma will take a peek down this upper right
It
set of
is
stairs.
exactly the same as the stairs that you go up to go into, except that it's down instead. It basically leads to a hallway, and that hallway seems to kind of just go.
So be it then. I'll head through that one.
Okay, is anyone going somewhere or no?
I'll go with them.
I'm going to follow.
I was going to go to toward the left-hand path, but when I see Soma oppositing me, I decide to follow him instead.
I'll also follow.
Okay. Cool.
Me and my spider backpack.
Avra and Hezrod, you remaining here, or are you coming?
We're going. Or at least background is. I don't know about that one.
Hezrod, you staying or no? Stop moving.
Right.
Chad, are you going or no?
You're
I think
muted,
he was
Chad.
muted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna go with everybody else.
Okay. All right. As you walk down the steps onto the start of the hallway, there's this very kind of just disturbing shadow effect where the lights seem to just go out all at once and then shift. And when the lights reappear, you're no longer standing on stone nor anywhere near any steps. Instead, you appear to be standing on metal grating. Beneath you, you can see that there's fog, a light fog, not dense enough for you to not be able to see through. And you can see that directly below your feet, about 100 or so feet down, is a bit more than that actually, 150, is the arrival train station. And in this area that you are now in, you do see that there are mechanical cogs that seem to be shifting in the center of this space, slowly kind of turning and twisting about. It looks like they're connected to cog wheels that are inside of the walls on either side, and it seems that they are kind of rotating the energy that they are transferring from one side of the room to the other. The more astute of you, passive perception 13 or better, would note that it seems that the energy transference in this space is kind of going from the eastern side of the room to the western side of the room. So from the lightning area to the clock area.
Oh, there we are. Okay, I was gonna say.
Is there an exit on another door on the other side of the
There are
room?
no doors.
Mm.
Eat.
Everyone will start heading down, this way or south, not down.
Okay. So as you can see up ahead, looks like the space is kind of blocked off. Don't really have a means of kind of passing through on that side.
Hezrod's going to follow Avran, and remembering the current state of his spear,
This
he
is all
pulls
blocked.
out the
Yeah, it's
Atavius
blocked.
longsword.
Okay.
So now he's following after Avran with the longsword in hand.
Okay.
There's these are at our level or a little bit lower.
They're about 5 foot drop. You're gonna have to jump over the ledge, the rail there, and land on them. But yeah, it does look like they are pretty sturdy.
Everyone will do it.
All
And
right, I was
are the
going to offer to
gears
do it
moving or
because I have a
no?
little more
Go ahead.
ability to not fall off of things because of my boots, but
There.
I believe in you, Avran.
I
Thanks,
don't believe
bud.
my token is on the.
Oh, did it not get copied because somebody moved over
No.
top of you and were moving when I told them not to? Them turkeys.
That damn spider.
Gobble gobble.
Oh, it might be into the spider. No, okay.
No, I found it.
I just dropped it, so yeah.
Gee.
Okay.
Who's that? Who could that be?
Avran, you hop over, land on it, and kind of move. What I will state is as you're kind of walking on this catwalk, what you realize is it's not so much a catwalk as it feels like it's a pipe, a square kind of pipe or ductway. It looks like there is a point where the cog is directly underneath of it. I'm actually going to change the music to something a bit more fitting. But yeah, it does look like you could gain access to the cogs by jumping down. It's about a 5 foot drop or
Oh yeah.
8 foot drop. The pipe is, or the duct that you're standing on, it's about 5-10 feet wide. It's about 8-10 feet deep.
Okay. I mean, we'll do that. We'll drop and
Are the
we'll
cogs
make-
moving?
Yeah, they are, but again, there's no animation or anything,
Hold
unfortunately.
on, Avran. I may have a solution to our problem here. I may regret it, but I think I might have a way to do something here.
Yeah.
So it looks like with the way the stuff is rotating here, that this cog that is underneath the pipe, does that look like it's feeding some kind of energy into that, or is it just...
So looking at it, it looks like it is kind of just free floating. It is simply connected. It doesn't seem to have any kind of connection that you can see at your current point. If it were to, it would be under the pipe or possibly directly under the pipe in this area.
Okay, I will climb down onto the gear.
Okay. Hopping down onto it, it's not moving terribly quickly. And you can see that directly underneath the pipe, at the point where this kind of under catwalk is located, it does appear to be kind of hitting something. And each time it strokes it, you can see a bit of static appear. The static is a similar coloration to the ghost light. You would note that the pillars themselves, looking at them sidelong, you can actually see that there are kind of holes within them, and you can see that inside of the pipes, there's ghost lightning moving through these pathways.
I'm going to pull out some rope and tie it around my waist, and I'm going to toss the rest of it to Avran,
Okay.
and ask him to hold on to it just in case this goes worse than I expect. and then I am going to pull out my immovable rod, set it in between the gears, and activate it.
Okay. So as you kind of set it, you watch as the first tooth hits it, and then very quickly displaces it. If you'd like, you could try and make a dexterity saving throw to grab it. But yeah, if you read the immovable rod, there is a threshold. It appears to be breaching that threshold.
Hey.
A good idea. Definitely throw a spanner in the works. 8,000 pounds of weight. The cogs themselves look like they weigh several tons.
Mm.
And are probably putting forward much more force than that to move themselves.
I need one more.
Yeah, basically the little one that you're standing on is able to move the one in the middle of the room, and the one in the middle of the room looks like it probably, I mean, it's solid brass. So, yeah, it's a good 10 feet thick, and it's a good, yeah, it's massive.
Okay, I'm assuming a 24 is probably enough to.
Yeah, you very quickly kind of like realize, oh, fuck, and grab it and take it away.
Looking at some of the other ones, does it look like that's more likely to work at any of the smaller bundles of them, or probably just there's enough force going through the whole contraption?
Yeah, it looks like the force that's kind of being utilized is it's not going to differentiate to a gradient low enough for it to be unbreaching of the threshold you're forcing into it.
I mean, at least I didn't try to throw a belt into it, John.
That's fair. I thank you. And I'm also I do like you asking the probing questions, but I think once they've been answered in this way, you're not going to cry about it for a good half an hour to an hour, right? Okay. Cool.
I mean, we'll see. I might bring it up 15 years from now.
All right, please do.
Well, this does seem to be what's generating the lightning, but it's a little more powerful than I expected, and I'm not sure that just making the lightning stop counts as what the ferryman was asking for, but I'm open to other suggestions here.
Not to mention
Just
the
passing
fact.
it.
Ooh.
Hezron at the back of the crowd holds up a bomb.
I did expect that suggestion.
Kel kind of be like, well, I'm a fan of that. Let's go.
There's
can I
a
make
pathway, right? That could get us to the other side.
Yeah, I mean, I do see that there are a lot of routes, but John, were you saying that we couldn't see a door from where we were at?
Yeah, there doesn't appear to be any doors present or anything. No.
Okay. Well, since I have the spider climb boots and should not slip and fall, I'll try and make a careful path along here to get to the side here.
Okay. Once you arrive over there, you kind of look at the wall, looking around. There are no doors, but what you do see, and it's very just strangely present, there does appear to be a kind of very much patinaed over bronze plaque set in the wall. Kind of inspecting it closely, it does look like it has a bunch of writing on it, but the writing doesn't appear to be any language or any alphabet that you are cognizant of, unless somehow you threw vampiric on your character sheet and I was missing it. It'd be the only language I think that would use this alphabet still. As you're kind of staring at it, it does have a strange kind of luster to it the closer you get to it. What that means, you're not sure. Of course, I ask the question that every DM loves asking: do you touch it?
I'm going to possibly come back and touch it. I want to explore more first before I default to touching the first shiny thing.
Okay.
So I will continue down this catwalk, still nothing over on the side of the wall other than that.
Nothing crazy is going to happen to you. If someone that didn't have spider climb boots was trying to move across the cogs, there'd be acrobatics checks. But since you have a means of kind of latching yourself to them, there's no issue.
Yeah, I'll head along this other beam to get to...
You do see that there is a chain that has a kind of heavy weight to it. And it looks like it's kind of coiled in such a way, kind of off the edge of it. It looks like it's it looks like it's long enough, if it were fully extended, to drop all the way down to the ground level of this space. But you'd have to pull it up, secure it to something, and then descend down it. But it does look like this could prove a means of getting down from the tree, so to speak.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Nothing. It would do anything on this side.
Similarly, there is another bronze plaque. It's exactly equidistant, like it's absolutely perfectly adjacent from the other.
Okay, and nothing.
Similar. Oh, sorry. On the southern side, there are 3 plaques. One in the middle, and then 2 on the sides. These are pretty much directly above the pathways that lead out.
Okay, and there's a plaque around here,
Yeah.
roughly.
Plaque there, plaque on the other side, is what you've discovered.
Okay.
Chain,
Just-
lightning tubes, gears.
And how much time and effort did you say it would be to get that chain down there?
Not terribly
usually?
long, like
Okay.
5 or so minutes. You gotta
Okay.
wind up the chain, then secure it to
Yeah.
something and lower it.
I'll probably do that first, just in case that's
Okay.
an easier way for people to.
Do you want to secure it to the railing? Do you want to secure it to one of the pipes? Do you want to secure it to something else?
What does the chain look like it's made out of? Just standard
it's
iron?
like a dark metal. You're not sure what. It's really heavy though, which is why it takes so long to manipulate.
I wonder how that will go in the gears.
You can try.
Sure, let's try tossing the weight of that chain in between some of the gears.
Okay. So what you'll note is that it does seem to create a small gap in the mechanism, but it doesn't seem to stop it, and the chain eventually kind of gets spit out on the opposite sides. It doesn't keep in the cog pocket.
So if I were to tie it to a railing nearby, it would just occasionally get pulled
Plop,
in there.
plop, plop.
Okay.
Or it might just kind of plop, and that's it.
All right. Well, I'll try to tie it to one of the railings so that it maybe occasionally gets stuck in there, just in case that creates some kind of interruption
Yep.
in the lightning. And then I will come to more closely investigate this plaque over here, this one.
Okay. Similarly, strange writing, bronze plaque.
I will touch it.
Okay. Soma vanishes. And I will move us to where you appear.
Huh.
You'll be in the bottom right.
Sorry, where?
Bottom right.
Down there, where I?
Mhm.
Okay. Like I came out of this doorway? Or...
Yeah, so the second you touch it, that shadow effect happens to you, and then the floor becomes stone underneath you, and you're standing at the base of the steps.
I will walk back through the doorway, do I?
Okay, so you kind of step up the steps and then drop back down, shadow effect, whoosh, you're back in the train roof.
Whoosh.
I'll shout something about never seeing a door like that before in my life, but
Oh, Soma, how did you get there?
there,
Oh, wait, did you go in the one that you walked in, or did you go back to the one you started in?
but I went back through the door that I came in through the plaque, so I'm back by the plaque. So.
Okay.
All right. I'm not going to move the token because it's a lot of moving back and forth, but I'll come back to the group to describe all those little instances. So there are other plaques to touch, but I don't know exactly where.
The rope would have lost its binding at a point kind of at the edge of the cog, I
Yeah.
think. So you probably would have relinquished it, Soma, and let Avron kind of
Yeah,
throw
of
it back
course.
in.
Yeah, sorry, forgot.
No worries. It was mentioned. I just wanted to make sure that it's clear.
So I can try some more plaques to see where we end up. There's a chain that can sometimes get caught in the gears and slow them down for a moment, which might be enough time to pass through lightning. Or, I mean, Hezrod, you could try and blow them up, but they're really heavy, so it would probably take a lot of bombs.
I just want to interject here. I don't think stopping the lightning is what's going to allow us to safely pass through the mist.
He did very specifically say to get the lightning to,
to accept us
pass
so
it.
that it would allow us to go through the mist. So stopping the lightning just allows us to walk there and communicate with him without misty stepping. We might need to do something more to get passage. And that I do not know. Did there happen to be a placard directly adjacent on the other side?
Well, the whole direction thing is a little messy with
Well,
this.
Hmm.
But yes, there were one over each of the trains, and there were there was one on the other side, but that plaque also made me go back to the room that we were in a moment ago.
You said there was only one plaque on the other side.
There's one plaque on the side we're on. There's a plaque on the other side.
And is there a plaque behind us where we entered? John?
There is not.
There's not. It's a doorway.
and
No,
there
there's
are-
no doorway.
Oh.
Did you
You guys
tell
are
us
basically
there
stuck
were?
here until we use the
Ah,
road
I
or
see.
something else.
Did you tell us there were 3 on the south side?
There are 3 on the south side, 1 over each of the train platforms. So I am more than willing to continue to see where those plaques lead.
Well, the one over, if they're adjacent to the entrances, placard 1 would be the same location that the old man is waiting for his arrival. If they were by chance to lead us to where those trains go, that might be something of interest.
Certainly. I will go touch some more plaques.
Okay. While that's happening, everybody who is not Soma, make a perception check.
And do.
I mean, is a passive 22 worth anything?
Passive here is it's more of an active. You're kind of waiting around, looking.
Well, I got a 21, which is almost as good.
More than fair.
24.
Passive is more when you're not trying to look for something and you are just cognitively aware. It's not a stopgap for perception checks. It's just you have a better kind of instinctual insight than otherwise.
Or of an
Well,
awareness.
he's always looking for stuff that might be fun to break.
Yeah, 20 or higher. You will note that there are no trains down below you, where there were trains before. It looks exactly identical to the space that you were in. In fact, everything's there, with the exception of the luggage that the old man had next to him. But the train seems to have moved away. Either back out the way it came, or perhaps the loud screeching was in due in part to manipulation of the train itself. The other
I kind of assumed the 2 toots were leaving from.
Yes. The other thing you would notice with that 20 is remember how you appeared on the balcony space? Directly where the balcony is kind of over the middle line? To the sides of that space, there are 2 more causeways that lead out. I'll move you to the map so you can see what I'm talking about, because you're looking at it from above. But there are 2 more pathways on the sides that you did not
Oh,
interact
I didn't
with.
even go that far.
You just kind of went down the steps to go talk to the ghost.
Interesting.
Good enough.
Because we could go back down.
Yeah, I'll.
Oh, you're talking about like these here?
Mm-hmm.
Way down there.
Yeah.
Those are pretty sneaky.
Indeed.
I didn't even see those.
Yeah.
I noticed them, but didn't
Mention it.
I didn't mention it because I wasn't here yet.
Okay.
I noticed them when I was
No,
watching.
that's perfect. That's perfectly fine.
But anyways,
That makes sense.
back to the gear cogs. So
Just to exhaust some options, we'll touch the one over here.
you appear in the concourse at the point across from the one opposite you here. It seems like all of the concourses access points, the 4 stairwells, lead to this space. The 2 on the north do not have retreats. The 2 on the south do have retreats, and then there are 3 more plaques that have.
Yeah, I'm gonna go touch the center one on the bottom.
Okay, so as you touch the center one, it kind of glows gold for a second, and seems to kind of like shift a bit, and then there's kind of like just a dissipation of its energy. It seems like as you kind of touch it, it kind of has this strange kind of, almost as if it's like recording the touch, and then it just stops glowing gold.
Does Soma have a different look about him at all?
No, he doesn't change or anything.
Okay.
Interesting. Well, this was the train. This was the plaque over the train where
Rivals.
our buddy was coming from.
Mm.
All right, back to. I'm gonna grab the chain back and head back to the group over here.
Okay.
You said how many feet down is it?
About 150.
That's a long ass climb.
And the chain seems to be satisfactory, but yeah, you will need to make an athletics check to descend. It will be better because the chain is wide enough you can actually kind of get your fingers and hands in it, but it's still going to be a climb for everyone, unless you want to try and fly.
Two options. The plaque had some kind of energy in it. Is the plaque over the train that Heroes, Cargo arrived in. So I wonder if if I might have become, what's the word? You what was your name? And someone will point at Ruben.
Ruben.
Right. In magic, there's a term, attunement, right? Something like that, where you can get attuned to some energy. Perhaps that plaque did something, and I could attempt to go through the lightning and perhaps die, in which case I guess I will be allowed through the lightning anyways. Or things do seem a little different down below. We could take this chain and see exactly what happens.
Well, since I've already suggested one of this party do not touch the lightning, it would be unwise for me to suggest that you now do. But trial by error, sometimes you have to play with fire, I suppose.
Or lightning.
Or lightning.
Hezrod,
Lightning.
you have the...
Who said that?
You can do the thing still, right? Like you had to do for Fiona?
I found something weird.
No, the somebody's dead thing. Like actually dead. Bring them back.
Yes, with the diamonds and the.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay. Just in case.
Don't die.
I don't want to.
All
right.
If you have religion trained, make a religion check now.
Why?
Any of us?
If you have religion trained, you get a religion check.
I got a 23.
Great.
21.
Magic in Dread Planes works different. Certain spells don't work in a Dread Plane. Spells like Revivify, Resurrection. You cannot bring people back from the dead in a place where the dead are supposed to be.
Right. So if you die, I'll grab your body and just get the hell out of here so I can bring you back to life.
Their soul doesn't go with the body, by the way.
The soul has to be willing.
Some repercussions there.
I don't know much about magic anyways, but that makes sense to me, so if we could just
Yeah,
I guess
if you die in the dread realm,
if you die in the game, you die for real. Yes, I understand.
Gary, Indiana, right?
The caveat to every resurrection spell, or just every resurrection spell, is the soul has to be willing.
Or able, right?
Yeah.
Or able, yeah.
Dread Planes lock you in.
I am going to tie the chain off on the railing again and drop it all the way down.
Okay.
And then I guess I will be taking
You have no
this way
issue.
down.
You have spider climb.
Ha!
Climbing is your strong suit.
How big is a
Scooter-Man.
giant wolf spider again?
It is medium sized, but I would say that if you are descending
As
with
a backpack.
its aid, I would go ahead and say that it's able to kind of supplement the climb for you in a way that you aren't needing to put much effort in. You're putting in effort, but it's not like you're actually on your own weight. The two of you are kind of working together, and it's kind of displacing your effort to a point where it's not going to be a strain. You're not going to need to make a check.
Wait, is
Thanks,
this thing
backpack.
bigger than a coconut crab?
It's about the size of like a what's the name of the dog?
Ashen.
Yeah,
No.
well, no, like a German Shepherd. It's like it's medium
Yeah.
size. It's a big boy.
Saint Bernard.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
Labrador.
That's so big.
It's a big spider.
It's a Labrador
But-
spider.
I want to say, like, the thing about the wolf spider is most of its weight, or rather its size, is its legs. Wolf spiders are
Yeah.
kind of jumpy boys. So when he's saying he's wearing it as a backpack, the thorax and like the head of the spider is not hugely massive on his back. It's like a
Yeah.
it's like a big rucksack. but the legs are kind of like
Yeah.
wrapped around
Yeah,
him
well,
like
that's
a.
why I was imagining it as like a coconut crab. Have you seen how
Oh
big
yeah,
those
yeah,
are?
yeah, yeah.
They are pretty big.
But
Those things, you
So-
could wear
so-
one of those like a backpack.
yeah. It's a little
I'll give
bit
you
So
ideas.
it's the size of a wolf, and it's a wolf spider.
right.
Yeah.
Is a wolf times 2 spider.
That's a very interesting way of casting spider climb.
Well, one way you have to
I
eat a
just
spider,
having
and the other
one,
way you have
you
to
know?
wear one.
Yeah.
I mean, he's okay with it. It's not our first time.
Fair.
I forget. Does my broom allow travel for more than one person? Let's see.
It does, but you are greatly slowed while doing so.
How slow does that?
I think it limits it down to like 30 around.
This is not our,
Okay.
our party's first time of going multi
It can
brooming.
carry up to 400 pounds, but its flying speed becomes 30 while carrying over 200. So
Okay.
you can carry one other light person. I would say Avran would be outside, so would Hazrod. But Estella would definitely be someone you could carry, and Kel would probably be too. But Kel's busy
Okay.
climbing, so
Yeah.
Well, can
Kills
I
our guy.
offer?
Backpack.
I offer Estelle if she'd
Estella.
like. All right, Estella. I write it down.
She would accept.
I know that we've just met, but means to an end. He says awkwardly, and
back to back, both the
Yeah.
butts floating down. You can see, and Ruben, you'd be cognizant. She does appear to have a elvish marker, a ring that would note that she is betrothed. She is married.
he's already awkward, so he's just like even more like trying to be as like proper gentleman as possible.
Oh, the hat.
Yes, like he offers the broom and then gets on. Yeah, it's a whole thing. He's just not used to interacting with
People.
a lot of people, and
If-
more noble, the more he's nervous.
Assuming Soma sees this from down below, he will hopefully shout out, "If she doesn't kill you, you're okay.
He is
You
trying.
did good."
The two of you descend. There is a very strange moment as you pass through the mists that there's a hiccup in the broom, but it's not like it's more like a turbulence thing than anything else. And it's kind of like a quick jaunt down, but not like a sudden shocker. And you kind of then drop down normally. You descend down normally. Okay. And then Avran and Hezrod, how are you getting down?
Climb down the chain.
Go ahead and make an athletics check. Because of the nature of the chain, you have advantage.
Nice. Okay. Ooh, 18.
Ezra. Looks easy enough. Avran's making it look like cake. He kind of just gets down there, starts to shift a bit, and then once he's got like a perfect posture, just starts. You see Kel down at the bottom once he gets down there, kind of grab a hold of the chain to make it more of a secure climb. Teamwork makes the dream work.
True.
Yeah.
What does Hazrod do?
Avran made that look pretty easy, so Hezrod's like,
Yeah, I could do that.
Athletics, you have
And,
advantage.
yeah, he climbs down.
Let's see it.
Mm-hmm.
Ruben's going to just be spotting.
The 21.
More than good. The two of you make it down, one after the other, and you are now in the train station. Due to your
Hezrod takes a moment to flex.
movement of the chain, you basically descend where you want to, since you moved it about. So wherever you want to have ended up inside of the train station, you can. And looking at it, you can see markers that this is very much not a different variation of, again, that is a trick John would try and pull on you guys. He is an asshole. But I am going to make sure that you are aware that this does appear to be the exact same arrival station.
It has the exact same, what do you call them? Big ass posters. Right?
Yeah, it's the exact same big ass posters, I believe is the official term that we covered.
It appears
Big
to
ass
be.
posters.
Who's messaging me?
So we're all going to those doors.
Sure, let's investigate those before I touch lightning.
All right.
Mhm.
Which door?
It's like you're
are we
willing to
going
do
through?
it, but only if it's the absolute last option.
Okay, so we're going through the right side, you said?
Yeah, I
Sure.
believe that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Go ahead and group up, as you do.
Mhm.
That sounds like we're gonna get ambushed.
No, I'm just moving.
I didn't even know.
it's... Where is
Who
my
just
token?
stretched
There.
out all our icons?
I sure did.
It's wide
That was-
In the
Soma.
This
Dread
is
Realm,
the
you become
distortion.
50% fatter.
Wide Soma.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Could be taller.
Dread Realm and
Marching
adds
order,
40 pounds.
formation
That's wide.
1.
Could be taller. You don't know. So as you move through this space, a very similar effect happens, except instead of shadow, it's light. And the light is kind of bright white at first. Then there's kind of like a purple hue to it, and then you're standing on metal again. At this point, you appear.
Perfect gif.
Formation Alpha.
Sorry, moving things. Directly over top of the clock in the
Oh,
concourse. At this point, too,
no,
the mist is present, as I mentioned. There does appear to be another weird chain. But out on the clock, a couple of things you're noticing that are different from the last time you entered into that space. First off, Kelder is present. He is sitting in the
Whoa.
seat that he was sitting in before. The other thing you notice is the clock was not moving before. It is now moving. And what you do notice is instead of moving like a clock should, it appears that the minute hand just keeps trying to move and clicking back and kind of recursing back into its position.
Is it in the same position that it was in? the-
Yes.
Hmm.
And it is making a,
739.
it is making a subtle but noticeable tick sound. You assume that when the clock would be in its full working like order, it would create like a sound of clock kind of in this space. And this appears to be just like a hint of it. Seems to be louder up above due to the fact that echoey.
Ambiance.
Is this
clock's still
chain
broken.
similar to the other one?
No, this is a separate area entirely. This is a chain that seems to descend down to the concourse, the area with the.
I think he was asking if it was like the same material.
Oh yeah. It's exactly the same chain wise. It's not.
Okay.
I thought he said it was connected to the other one. Sorry.
No,
Okay. It's
And can I
identical.
walk out across here?
Similarly, you can jump down, move across.
Okay, cool. So noticing that like Kelder's down there.
Oh, okay. So as you kind of pop over and make your way over to the chain, what you'll notice is that the energy in this area is different than the energy was back there. You didn't personally jump out, but once others do, they'll notice a difference. The difference is that there's a static field kind of present throughout. And as you're kind of standing on the pipe here, there wasn't much of an energy to it, but in this room, there's like a thrum to kind of standing on it. It's like you're kind of standing on a machine that's vibrating. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly.
Yeah, you're like in a car. You're HVAC. You know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, you are in something that is powered.
That's like Monday through Friday. So he's like,
Ooh, that tingles. Right. I'll be right back.
and he goes and like kind of tosses the chain down and starts climbing down to Kelder.
Okay. Since you're doing that and everyone else is kind of maneuvering about, I just want to, before we kind of get into what the others are doing while you're doing that, everybody make a perception check, and then I'm going to go from beat to beat and ask you what you're doing. Avran, you see Hazrod doing what he's doing. What would you like to do in the meantime?
I'm sorry, would you like to also make a perception check?
Yeah, I'll get one from you, please.
Okay.
I would look around to see if there are
Actually,
any
that
other...
perception check's going to change you what you're going to do.
Oh,
You got over a
Okay.
20.
okay.
Looking at the space from above, what you notice is that directly in the top of the podium, there appears to be an open kind of slot space. And inside of that strange slot space, there looks like there's some sort of lever or like device, like a twisting device.
Okay.
And Estelle, you would notice that as well. And Avran, you would notice that. And Hazrod, you would definitely notice that.
Is the
Um,
chain that Hezrod's got? It's going down this thing, right?
Yeah,
Or
Hezron
this
tossed the
column?
chain down, and he's going to descend down into the space. Correct.
Okay, so Avron wants to get this chain all the way up here,
Oh, okay.
and then go down one of these columns
Okay. So
onto the top.
you're going to this chain over here, is what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. When you get to that chain, you'll note that that is not as long a chain as the chain that Hasbro is using. But what you do notice is that this one appears to be kind of wrapped around something. And as you kind of look at it, it appears to be a tube that has kind of like a slot, like a slot mechanism, like a slide mechanism rather, that allows it to kind of be opened, like a almost like a scroll tube.
Oh.
But it's bigger and it's more metal, and it just feels like there's something a bit more tangible inside.
I will bring that to our resident Smarty Pants.
Okay. All right, so you grab it up. Do you take the
And
chain?
the
Or...
chain.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Chain looks like it's probably about 10-foot length of chain. And
Okay.
Avran, kind of having an idea of metals, would know that this is adamantine that you're messing around with. So it's 10
The chain?
Yeah, it's an adamantine chain. Yeah.
Sexy.
Okay. Hezrod, you're descending down, moving on to Estella. You notice the strange mechanism in the top of the center seat in the clock mechanism.
That's right here, right?
Yeah, right down below.
I'd like to start moving to, I think, this spot to see if I can get a better look.
Okay. So yeah, it looks like whatever it is kind of slots in, and it's something you'd have to kind of like either just twist or maybe pull up. You're not sure what it does. It basically looks like this is going to be a reference no one gets. Have you seen First Contact, Star Trek First Contact? It's like one of those things. I guess no.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody got it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Before my time.
Before your time.
Josh. Oh, by the way, Jonah is 12 years old. I don't know. If
Yeah.
Now is your time to watch it, bro.
Yeah,
I am but a child.
unsullied.
I don't know. He's pretty solid.
That's
Yeah, he was.
Sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that to the poor guy.
For example, he moved to Florida.
You know what? He's
I
He's
feel
a
sorry,
I am
now.
a dirty Floridian child now.
Florida man.
Yeah, he's Florida boy.
He started off as New York boy.
He's
and
Florida
now
man's
he's
sidekick.
Florida man.
Let's
That's
make
my
it official.
superhero
Bring on the
name.
hurricane.
he's grown up so fast.
Yeah, he was thrown into the Tempest. Like,
Yeah.
Really, though.
Seriously,
Literally.
poor.
Welcome to Florida. Here's a hurricane and a smoke alarm.
It
So-
should be like that.
Estella, looking at it, there's really not much you can decipher from up above. But being out on the mechanism, what you do notice is that static electricity, as you're kind of moving across the beams, has a flow. It seems to be flowing towards the center of the room. And as you're kind of looking down at the chamber, it seems like there's kind of this strange glistening, like almost like stars kind of fluttering in the sky. You can kind of see it about, but it's almost like it's kind of slowly descending down towards the center of the clock.
Gotcha. Interesting. And the slot you said, is it
150
empty?
150 feet down, looks like it has the turning mechanism. It doesn't look like something goes in it or something comes out of it. It looks like it's a handle like set inside of like a
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
How much does
I
the
see, I
10
see.
feet of adamantine chain weigh?
Whatever chain weighs, double it.
Okay.
Like a 10-foot chain, just double the weight. Okay. Kaz already doing a thing. John, what's Kel doing?
He was going to actually see that Hezrod's
Heading down.
going here, and then he would start to, not quite like that, maybe more like that.
Okay. And you're getting a beat on Kelder, or are you moving to the chain to head down?
Move to the chain to head down.
Okay. Cool. Tom, what is Summa doing?
Well, my perception score was roll was terrible, so I'm gonna look for some plaques on the wall.
Okay. Yeah. Surprisingly, you'll note that there is one right near where you're at. There appears to be one across the way from that. And that's it.
If while all this is going on, I can touch the one that we just appeared out of to see if it goes back to where we
Yeah.
came from.
So the mechanism for this will be it goes back to the stair that you came, and then when you go back into the stair, it'll appear here.
And I'll try the one across the way just to see if it
Same
drops us out.
opposite side.
Okay, so back to the same room, just both of those staircases lead to these areas. Okay.
Correct. All right. Last but not least, Ruben. Josh, tell us what Ruben's doing as you again watch the others start to kind of move throughout.
Ruben was looking for placards as well. When he sees someone doing the same and testing them out, he goes to see what the others are gathering over here to do, and sees that he's going down. So he kind of goes toward the center to inspect the clock. The clock is still broken, correct?
Yeah.
Like it looks broken.
It does look
'Cause-
broken, and the only thing that's changed about it is again this vantage point has given you clear, sight of not you but others who might have pointed it out to you, and then it looks like the minute hand of the clock is now kind of trying to move, like when a clock is broken and it's like it's trying to do the thing,
or
but it's
losing
not.
battery.
Yeah,
It doesn't have enough power.
That minute hand is trying to do something, but it's not. Okay. Estella, do you point out the things that you've noticed?
Yes.
So you'd see what you see.
You are looking to go down.
I've
Excuse me?
noticed
Tisk,
phrasing.
tisk, tisk.
Wow. What do you
Uh,
think? It is
Ruben
Tuesday, bro?
immediately starts blushing and completely clams up.
And just jumps.
He says,
He just jumps.
and he just
Dirty
he just
brains, dirty brains.
shoves the broom into your hand and kind of
Just leaves.
Just figure it out. Figure it out.
Once again, I would just like to underscore it was not me that killed the party member or anything. No. Circumstance. It's weird.
So anyway, do you want to descend down, the two of you, or do you want to remain above as I get to Hezrod and Kel?
Well, if Ruben wouldn't mind, I would like to inspect that further, or if he wanted to.
Okay. So if that's the case, because he was proffering you the option, the two of you float down, and you kind of move quicker than, well, not much quicker. Hezrod probably makes it down to the bottom the second you kind of land on top of the clock mechanism. I'll go ahead and move us to there. And bear with me here. So Hezrod, Kel shortly behind with Spoder, and then and Estella would be on top of the thing. Okay, cool. And again, I don't have his token out right this second, but yeah, he's sitting right where that little dot is. That said, you would land, Hezrod would make to ground, Kel would be shortly behind. The second that you kind of step down, Hezrod, you were moving to talk to Kelder. Was that the... Oh, okay.
Yep.
He kind of looks up to you, and as you kind of close in on him, he just...
Well, he would approach kind of slowly with his hands up, and he speaks very quietly.
He says, excuse me.
Yes.
Could I borrow a ghost?
What?
My friends and I, we need to pass through the lightning. But it only lets ghosts through. But I'm not a ghost. And you have a lot of ghosts. Could I borrow one,
No.
please?
I can't... If I could easily bequeath them, I would not have them.
That makes sense.
Honestly, if I could give you this curse, I would. I can't. I'm sorry.
Me too.
I
And then
suppose,
he just
he says, I suppose I respect the inquiry. And he kind of seems to be laughing. This is the first you've seen him not kind of depressed or bitter.
Well, I'm just going to sit here if that's okay.
Sure.
he
Meanwhile,
moves over and
you can
sits nearby,
you can
kind of
hear
like
you can hear the footfalls, and if you're sitting close enough, you can hear the screams. So you can't hear the footfalls.
yeah. He basically like there's like a whole nother person's space between them.
Okay, it's a pretty wide aura. So yeah, if you kind of like hedge away from it, that's fine. But moving on to,
I
Ruben.
mean, it's not like screams really bother Hezrod.
Yeah,
Chaos is kind of
absolutely.
you know.
It's just it inhibits your ability to hear other things. So you wouldn't hear
Fair.
Estella and Ruben land on top, is what I was getting to. And then as you two land on top of the, I just noticed that you're still at Coral Drunarin. Why didn't it save? Anyways, you will forever be the Coral Drunarin. You land on top. You see the mechanism. It looks like it would be a simple process of reaching down and extracting the handle upwards. That seems to be the mechanism. It kind of lifts up.
Can I use a check to see what this might accomplish? Or, like, it's obviously connected to the clock.
Does appear to be.
What was that?
It does appear to be.
Would I be able to use like an Arcana or perhaps a investigation? Maybe not investigation.
You can make an investigation roll because Arcana wouldn't help here. It's
Yeah.
The artifice is too limited.
Okay. 24.
Okay. So it appears that the mechanism, once lifted, will create a lock seal break on the tops of the thing you're standing on, or floating near if you're still on the broom, which will cause it to open up. What that means, you're not sure. But it appears that this kind of information kiosk post here, with the chairs outside seated on top of the clock, is something that opens up, possibly like blossoming outwards.
Just the top of it.
Ruben
Yeah.
murmurs to himself.
Suppose this could be a way to fix the clock.
Well, if there was a way to fix the clock, don't you think that the train keeper would have potentially already utilized this?
He does seem to be busy with his own things, his own kind of waves a hand by her head.
Ghosts.
Ghosts!
That's fair. I don't know what this would accomplish, but it does seem the clock and the electricity are connected in some way. I do fear that, I suppose levers like this, if it's in this placement, it can be redone.
Would you like to try opening it? Or shall we?
Would I be? I'd like to continue hovering and try using Mage Hand to try and pull at it instead of touching it myself.
You and Estella kind of seat on the broom. You move the Mage Hand down. It grasps a hold of the lever. It lifts up, which is more than enough capacity to kind of lift up the thing. And the second it does, you watch as the kiosk kind of breaches open. And let me see if I can get this to work in one. Yep.
Oh, shit.
I would need Hezrod and only Hezrod to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Wow, that is
That is something.
he's like deep in thought, and then all of a sudden
that's
shit
good
just
too.
explodes. And his like first thought is, I had nothing to do with it.
Cal, you are outside of the radius based on the fact that you're on the chain.
Oof.
You're just coming down when this pops open, and I'll explain narratively what you see. Okay, cool. Hezrod is the whipping lad for the session, it seems. Yeah.
What the fuck was an old god doing inside an information kiosk?
Cal,
Answering questions, obviously.
as you kind of
That's perfect.
descend down, you kind of look to see Ruben kind of lift his hand in like a magical gesture and see like a blue force hand kind of lift this thing out of the top of the kiosk. The second it hits a certain point, you hear a loud click and the kiosk breaks open into like 6 different panels. And as it does so, this mad flare of purple energy erupts outwards and starts to force itself away. Kelder is immediately consumed in the light and disappears.
I don't like that.
Kel
Damn it, I thought we had a moment.
is
Clink.
it doesn't look like Keldar reacts. Like it doesn't look like he's trying to move or anything. It just gone.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna die. He's like, it's okay.
You know, in the end, he got what he wanted.
Then you watch as Hezrod tries to maneuver away from it, and it blasts him with this kind of dark ripple effect that exits out from the purple energy. And Hezrod is shot about 50 feet outwards,
God damn.
smashing in through one of the tables, kind of hitting the ground near it. He takes a total of 24 necrotic damage and 13 bludgeoning damage, as you are basically ragdolled by this entity. You see that
So,
the entity...
total of 37?
Yeah. Once the entity kind of is freed from the kiosk, Ruben and Acela are able to kind of maneuver upwards. But what you notice is that it's ringed around its like form, which is a large kind of globular structure with this white lightning, ghost-like lightning. Those of you who are up on top now get to deal with the repercussions on your end. I would like
Yo, what the fuck?
I would like
Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
like everybody who is up above.
I'm gonna.
You know why this happens?
I was clearly in the middle of transporting to other
The first-
sections of the building by touching plaques.
I would like everyone else who is up above, if you are on the, you didn't jump off, you're still on the railing or the catwalk on the sides. Is that
I
right?
am, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then nothing, no effect.
Good.
You are
Yeah,
fine.
no, Avron originally went to the group, showed them what he found in the chains, and then just stood there watching as everyone, did their thing because it's way above his pay grade.
What you do watch happen,
grade.
though, Soma, is as that happens, you see the lights appear above them that they're not able to see from their vantage point. Those weird lights that were floating down towards the center, all just shoot back upwards, and then you see that the catwalks in between become surged with electricity, and it's all kind of going one direction and stops, and then it all starts flowing the other direction. Almost as if it were being poured out of the tubes.
Do we see Ruben and Estella or anyone down there?
Ruben and Estella are floating upwards and away from this, I assume? Yeah, you see them.
Oh yeah.
You
Is
see
there, Ruben's urgently trying to use the mage hand to push back the breach, push it back.
Yeah, so
And
as you're kind of pushing, you see that the hand is kind of floating there in the air, and it's no longer holding anything. And as you kind of move it away, you realize
it
that
just dissipates.
it's
yeah.
still holding the handle. It's still as you kind of move the hand towards you, you're like, oh.
Those up above have like a perfect vantage point. It's like one of those things where you see the explosion, and then a moment later, like something that was in the radius comes flying out of the explosion.
So after the initial effect, which feels like it's kind of like a gravity changing, just absolute distortion, Cal's kind of like grabbing a hold of the rope, spider limbs are kind of grabbing a hold of, not the rope, the chain, and you're all kind of like in this panic mode. But once it kind of bursts out, it just starts kind of coalescing and sitting there in the space. It doesn't jump out, doesn't fly out at anything. It just kind of hovers there, and it's its own kind of like malignant presence, but it's not moving out of the clock space.
Right.
Is anything happening with the tube I found?
Oh, no. Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yet?
Oh, okay.
Does anybody know what time that means?
Yeah, what time is it?
Oh, so looking at the clock
I
more
believe
directly,
it means death o'clock.
yeah, it definitely looks like there is shattering, like present on the clock. You can definitely see that there's more glass cracking at this point.
So
And
that's what did it the first time.
yeah, it doesn't look like the timepiece is really present much beneath it, or if it is, you can't see it.
Hezron pushes himself up out of the remains of this table. He's got cloth napkins and stuff hanging on him. And he's like, whoa! And he's just looking at this
Yeah, as you're kind of
disgusting mess.
laying there, you feel a hand press on your shoulder, and you look at one of the customers, now fully formed and tangible, placing his hand on your shoulder, and he says, "Are you okay?"
Yes, but I am not happy.
He says, "Oh, I wouldn't be either. What the hell happened there?"
I don't know.
Very confusing, to be sure. Okay, well, I hope you have a...
Wait. Do you have beer?
No, we have tea.
Does it have alcohol?
No.
Okay, get away from me.
Drinks are served on the train, sir.
No hot toddy?
After getting exploded on, do you have beer?
This place sucks. One star.
Help.
Yeah. So looking at this thing, can he see any of his friends?
You see that Reuben and Acela are floating away from it. Kel's kind of at the chain on the edge of the clock. John, are you moving up the chain, or are you looking to Hezrod? John, you there? If you are, you're muted.
He's probably got a fork sticking out of his head.
I think John might be okay.
I think a flyer has
I
embedded
am
itself.
Muted, that's what happened.
looking over. Yeah, I was muted. Sorry. I'm looking over at Hezrod. Looking over at the fucking big giant eye.
Yeah.
Then I guess I'll try to lower down. Then go for a bit, but
Oh, you made it to the bottom of the chain, so you can run over to Hezrod.
oh.
Yeah, just
There is an eye.
just as
right?
you
Yeah, we'll
made,
get over.
just as you made it, it popped.
Okay, we'll get over there and it'll be like, how are we gonna get him? How are we gonna get him out of there? This is.
There is an eye still there.
Yeah, the eye's still floating around. It's just floating in the air. Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm saying to Hezrod, saying, how are we gonna get? Oh, they're not in it. They're up top, right?
Yeah.
Floating.
We're
That's right,
floating
okay.
in the air.
That's
Yeah.
right.
For now.
For now, I was like, well, we certainly made a mess of this place, huh?
I didn't even do anything. Who did this?
Beats me, man. That's all in there.
And he's kind of looking at it, and then after a moment, he says,
Pretty cool explosion, though.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's pretty goddamn cool.
and now for the umpteenth time since we've been here, Hezrod casts Cure Wounds on himself.
It's a very
Hey, you
different-
know what
Sorry.
you can do for level 2? That's a good idea.
it's a
We
very
just saw
def-
the body that belongs to the eye.
It's a very
I'm
defensive
sorry.
posture.
Who are you? You're casting Cure Wounds on yourself?
yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm probably gonna cast it. Wait a second.
Cast it as many times as you can
I mean,
and want.
all right. So let's do.
Can Everett open up the
Because I am
thingy,
low.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
capsule?
So as you kind of
Right.
take to the capsule, kind of slot it and open it up, inside is like a small statue, the bust of a thing. It appears that the object that you're looking at is a fox head.
Oh, come on.
Hell yeah.
Interesting.
Um,
Is there anything happening like to the statue with this presence that is now below us, or
No. The eye thing, it basically is just a round, glowing orb of energy that has an eye-like shape. Think Sauron, but purple, pink
Yeah.
purple. Kind of.
I was thinking Vel'Koz from League.
I don't know what that means.
Nobody knows what that
Never mind.
is.
Never mind. Never mind.
I wish I
Never
already
mind.
know. I wish
It's
I
okay.
already.
They don't even
I
want to know
It's a,
anyway.
I
it's a
wouldn't wake up.
youngin' thing.
I wouldn't wake up in pain every day. I wish I knew what that was.
I'll post it. It's okay.
That is actually
Oh.
that is very cool, but it's more energy. That's a bit more solid looking.
I got you.
Anywho,
I got you.
that said, it does seem to be looking. It does seem that the eye moves and shifts. Initially, it's looking at Ruben and Estella before they kind of make it up to your level, and then after that point, it kind of maneuvers down towards looking at Kel and Hezrod. But it's not doing so in like any kind of There's no way for you to insight its intent.
Yeah,
It doesn't. I mean,
it's just looking.
obviously by just the nature of its look, it's malicious,
so
but it doesn't seem to be anything more than just looking.
So as it kind of like looks at Kel and Hezrod like kind of tilts his head, like kind of surprised and curious. And then he kind of leans over to Kel and he says,
Is it looking at you or me?
It might be looking at us.
And he kind of holds out his arm, so he's kind of like basically like feeling his way, and he's gonna start slowly moving towards it.
Okay.
Basically, he's like keeping his hands out to like feel for any like force fields or invisible fences or
Yeah, there's definitely a large.
people.
There's like a large disturbance if you move towards the clock space. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, slowly.
Yeah. So there's a being a master of destruction. You would definitely realize that there is a threshold, which is kind of like an event horizon, if you will, that will kind of lead you back into I'm going to do a lot of damage to you and throw you away from me again. Kind of.
Cool. He's gonna go like right up to the safe side of that line,
Yep.
and then he's gonna kind of look at the eye. He says, "Hello, hello.
There's like a
Can you understand me?
flash of lightning around it, and kind of the darkness kind of sweeps in almost like a blinking like fashion as it's kind of locked onto you, and like the mists, the necrotic smoke kind of closing like eyelids over it for like a blink, 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 blink kind of look. Again, because of the nature of the thing, it's very hard to incite what it means or what it's thinking or what its intent is.
Right.
It's not
So
replying.
he can't really make sense of what it's trying to tell him, but he definitely gets the impression that like what it's doing is deliberate.
Oh,
If only we still had a scholar that was an expert in eyeballs. I mean,
True.
Man,
it's almost like I wrote this
She
before.
would
Hold
have
on.
known.
wait a minute.
Transform. It is I, Fiona.
This eye's
Isn't
weird,
it?
isn't it?
Can
Anybody
Can
need
you-
shoved?
But Ezra, you have to jump in. It is I,
No.
Fiona, who has told you.
can you speak to my mind? Or
No.
is there some way for us to commune?
It doesn't do
I
anything.
like what you're doing. This whole thing is really impressive.
It does seem to be genuinely just kind of blinking and staring at you. It doesn't shift its gaze from Hezrod. It's kind of very much focused on him. But
We all do that at times
Uh-oh.
with Hezrod.
it doesn't look like there's any intent. Again, just by the nature of the way it is, it's obviously, malicious, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything outside of being a big glowing evil eye.
all right, guys, don't take this the wrong way, but I want it inside me.
Wow.
Phrasing.
That's
You want the
in
you want the
what
big
form?
purple one-eyed monster inside of you, Chad.
Jesus Christ.
I need more alcohol. Hold on.
I was
In
about
the
to say the
serious
same thing.
name, I rebuke you!
This is
So
fucking great.
you have the icon, the fox-headed icon up above
Yeah.
Avrin.
I do.
At this point, Ruben and Estella will kind of land up onto the railing with you folks, Soma as well. Soma, you see the icon. Obviously, it's an anthropomorphic fox head. It's not just a fox's head. It does appear to have like the neck of a person. It's very similar in styling to the Arcanoloth that you'd met earlier.
Sir, obviously looking at Ruben.
Sir!
Sir, you know magic, yes.
Yes.
Do you think this could help us? And I hold out the statue. In this situation.
So looking at the device and the device that was holding the figurine and the figurine itself, does either look familiar or
The mechanism of the scroll case, the device that was holding it, is not too dissimilar in its kind of cylindrical nature to the handle that was extracted from the top of it. So it does look like it's a similar piece of artifice in that regard. The head looks like it's very ornately styled. There's definitely a certain pang of kind of hellish properties. It does look like it's of infernal kind of craftsmanship. And you would note that based on the look of it, it does appear to have a magical sense to it. It might be a wondrous item in its own regard.
Fancy.
And not the first
Okay.
time an icon of cunning has been shown in this game. Or
Hezrod's going to start like walking the perimeter of the event horizon.
Okay. Yeah, very similarly, like black waves of kind of mist will kind of float past you. It does seem to be kind of just ejecting those out, but they don't do anything to you other than kind of like brush past you and feel windy. Important. Josh, as you're kind of manipulating that, kind of look down at Hezrod kind of maneuvering around, you can see the winds kind of fluttering about. And you start to realize kind of what's going on here. It was explained to you by Estella that these kind of white, minuscule bits of material were floating on the winds down into it. And now these winds are dark and moving about. It seems that this is a magical source. And the winds of magic in this game. So there's the weave in other campaign settings. You're new, so I'm going to explain magic to you really quick. It's kind of explained a little bit in the handout, but there are the dark winds and there are the light winds. And then there are also the earthly winds. So arcane, divine, primal. The dark winds are arcane magic. And this appears to be a bountiful source of dark winds. It seems that this, whatever this is just manifesting raw magical energy from itself. And whatever was powering the clock, the lightning, seems to have been white winds that were entering into it. The lightning is raw, divine energy.
almost like one was harnessing the other.
Right. Good call.
Do I know what that thing is?
It definitely doesn't like track off the top, but you could go ahead and make an Arcana check to try and see if it's something you can discern. What'd you get?
So I did it with proficiency. It's an 11.
Only 11? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely outside of your scope. It's not something that is within your ken. You're definitely mentally or possibly physically taking notes, and once you get to like a point of library access or faction access, you might be able to kind of discern more.
Wonder if that bookstore might have something on this. Probably not. He mutters to himself and says,
It's just so porny in here. Why are all these romance novels? The lady who's now Manifest says, good reads on the train. Oh, and I do want to make sure that's clear to Hezrod and Kel, sorry. The ghosts downstairs are Manifest. They are walking around as if they don't even realize that effectively the doom of the doom of Valyria just happened right in their clock.
My God.
Just a casual, I don't know what day
Casual
it is in
Doom.
game.
Casual Doom. Yeah.
Yeah, just casual Doom. A little Doom.
I
Um,
wish I had those glasses.
Whoa, it's a treat.
It's kind of an eyesore.
Upstairs, Avran, Soma, Ruben, Estella, doing well. Downstairs, Kel Hezrod. I'll explain simply. Other than the people being present and now kind of talking and being accessible, they don't seem to be cognizant of what is happening on your end. It seems like you're looking at them through a different light. So they're not going to be much help other than if you were trying to buy a Danish. Estella, this is your chance. If you want to hop down there, or you wanted to actually confirm the purchase of the hat or do normal things. However, to you, you'd be doing that while this dark wind is flying behind you and there's an eye glaring at one of you. But you could get away with it.
I would like to buy a Danish.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need a dark wind behind you.
The
Or Danish.
the lady at
Can
the
we-
cafe will say it's 2 coppers for a Danish.
I will
Can
pay
we?
2.
Okay.
Can those of us up on top? We can make it to the other rooms, right? With via plaques.
You can move to the plaques and utilize them if you'd like.
Could
long as they
could
still work.
Avran take one of the plaques? Not take the plaques, but like use the plaque and then go to the electrifying room.
I understood what you meant by take like a bus. I
yeah,
got you.
yeah.
So you
My bad.
can't get to the No, perfect. It's okay. I understand the vernacular. You can't get
My bad.
directly to the lightning room, but you can
Yeah.
get to the train room, and then you can move from the train room to the lightning room. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, I want to see if it's still active.
Perfect. Once you get to the train room, or the lightning room, you'll note that it appears the lightning on the southern side has stopped, and the current on all of the other lightning axes seems to be moving in reverse. What that
Okay.
means is instead of kind of flowing in one direction, it's now flowing in the opposite direction, and the lightning that was shooting around the like cascading around the pillars is now kind of more shooting straight up instead of kind of coalescing, and the steam is kind of not super present, still kind of there, but now it's more there's just this wall of lightning, this web of lightning above the pillars.
Okay. I have 2 questions.
Fire away.
Number one, Hezrod's walking around the perimeter. Does he see any of these like storefronts that actually sell alcohol?
No, they don't sell.
This place sucks.
There are no.
Um,
There's no alcohol in the concourse. You have to purchase alcohol on the train.
Yeah,
okay.
you got to be on the train.
So he comes all the way back around and he's kind of like sitting there pondering this thing. And then another brilliant idea, he casts Eldritch Blast at it.
Okay.
God.
Yeah. So you watch as the Eldritch Blast kind of like manifests, fires into the space, and as it kind of hits the event horizon, it itself becomes purple, coalesces straight into the eye, and then seems to kind of just distort into the white lightning pattern around it. It manipulates your winds and changes it into the raw stuff that's kind of seeping around it, because it is wreathed in a crown of lightning.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking awesome.
It is so rad.
Yeah. Hezrod just keeps fucking like,
Oh yeah.
okay.
It doesn't.
Like-
It doesn't seem to create more of a crown. It just seems to kind of be consumed into its crown of lightning.
Well, I'm hoping that this thing is like understands that Hezrod is like desperately trying to communicate with it.
Honestly, whatever it is thinking is so beyond your scope. As a mortal, you have no idea.
Well, oh man, it's this is it, guys. This is like the
I have another idea.
And I will have, once we get through this entire kind of bit, I will have
Gotcha.
a notation regarding this. But don't worry about it. It's no big deal. It's still good. But yeah, in the lightning room, great call, Avran. It does look like one of the lightnings have been stopped.
Okay.
One more.
Can Avran go to the place above the lightning room? I believe it was.
There was no
And-
space above the lightning room.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so then it was the
The train.
Train platform.
Yeah, the train platform. room.
Okay. So
Where those 3 plaques were.
right. So you would go back into the concourse where
Mhm.
Hazrat and Kel are kind of maneuvering about, buying Danishes, etc. And you can regroup with them if you want to take them with you, or if you want to leave them to their own business.
Everyone is he's running past and he's like, what are they doing? And then he's gonna
Solving
scream.
problems like Fiona would do.
If Wait, if
Whoever's
Soma
the
sees-
closest.
Yeah,
Bond
What
of Danish.
would Fiona do?
Soma sees.
yeah. Soma will
Could I
chase after him. Yeah.
Okay.
could I perception to see him?
Well, no, you don't need to perception. You can see each other. It's just whether or not you're going to
okay.
go with him or not is up to you as the player.
Oh, I think I'll see the rush and I'll just be like, oh well, wait on the Danish and then
And I just want to make sure I've got something correct. Avran, you left the icon and the tube with Ruben to study, right?
Yes.
Just want to make sure I know where it's at.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. That said, you are moving back to the space above the train.
Yeah.
Okay. So once you get here,
Preferably.
you would
Oh,
note
sorry.
that the cogs are all stopped.
Oh shit. Okay.
The paths
Sweet.
that kind of run across the top and bottom there are charged with lightning. It seems that they are very much kind of just filled and kind of pulsing with lightning. Unfortunately, I don't have a map that relays that.
All
Like
this
these?
is filled with lightning.
Yeah, but they're kind of covered with it too. They're like ringed with it, so it doesn't look like
Okay.
they're traversable any longer. But what you
What
do,
about-
what you do notice is the top course has a lesser amount of lightning, and it looks like there is a similar chain to the one that you saw that had a tube in it.
Another one.
And this one does appear to have a tube in it.
and there's
Alright.
lightning across this.
Oh yeah.
You could,
There's lightning crossing.
there's lightning crossing it, correct?
Will it hurt if I step on it?
You can try, or you can come up with different solutions.
Like,
Ruben has the
get the
broom of
person- yeah.
flying.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, you can rush back to Ruben and ask for
Okay,
his
yeah.
assistance here. It's-
I'll do that and I'll tell him what we saw and what I'm planning, which is basically traverse all of these rooms and see if anything changed, and then see if the middle plaque that Soma originally touched, if that has also changed. And also that
Question.
too.
We trying to get towards this chain.
Yeah. So if you want, Ruben
Yeah.
can fly you out there, and you can reach out and grab a hold of it.
No, I was
Okay.
gonna offer to shoot an arrow with
Oh.
a rope on it,
And knock it down. Oh,
knock it down, or try to
It's made out of metal.
catch onto it.
Yeah, it's made
I
out of
think-
metal.
Adamantine
I
conduct.
think we should do the
Yeah,
the broom.
exactly. The containers are adamantine, Ruben. That's right.
Mhm.
I think we should do
Yeah,
the broom.
maybe the
instead.
fly grab is better.
Yeah. But Avron would have to do it himself because he weighs like 320 pounds. With
Or-
all his gear.
Crazy thought. You could just have Ruben go and
Ruben
get
could do it too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
If he
I'm
wants,
gonna,
Kiora could assist.
I'll take care of it, and I'm gonna mage hand it open
And
Wait,
grab
or
the
so that
chain.
I'm not touching it.
You would see
Yeah.
that it's not going to be something you can open with a single mage hand because it's a
Okay.
twist cap. But it is something you could pick up with a mage hand, weighing
Yes.
about 10 pounds. And you
Mhm.
realize when you get to it, you want to, would have been something Avran would have noticed if he had been the one who wrote out on your room. It is very much conductive of the lightning. So when you reach out with the mage hand, it does not excite the hand to destroy it. You lift up the device, the lightning kind of courses away from it after a slight kind of like connection point and then relinquish, and then you pull in the device or the case to you and fly back over to the railing and then pop it open. And inside there is a small parchment, and the parchment says nothing more than the words in common: "When I see you, deceiver, the golden way shall be clear." And I will copy and paste that in the
Okay.
chat. Actually, I'll just type it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Does this mean anything to you, Avron? And he hands that over.
Does it mean anything to Avron?
What have you got
no
there?
clue.
What was that? What was in the tube?
Someone's
A
with
parchment.
group. You can hand it over, Ruben, if you'd like.
Here you go, Soma.
Wasn't the I don't know the technical term, but the fox creature didn't somebody call that the deceiver? Isn't that what
Yes.
that bust kind of looks
Yes.
like?
Yes.
And isn't there something that sees everything in that other room?
Yes.
Yes.
Seems like maybe the bust should be shown to Hezrod's best friend in there, maybe.
Will it destroy it?
I mean,
Who knows?
it destroyed a lot of stuff earlier, but it's talking about a way being clear, so unless you've got any other ideas.
No, my idea was shite compared to this. Let's do it. Shite. Shit.
Soma, did you want to experiment with that lightning? Have we done enough testing for today? As his mage hand is still waggling around that switch from now.
I mean, I was safe, so I mean, we'll see what happens with the statue, and if that doesn't work, then I guess I will get to pull a Hezrod and stick my hand in there. But we'll save that.
One of you wish to hold the statue up to the creature, or would you like me to?
Particularly.
You know what?
Boy.
If it
You've been
does
through
harm.
You've been through a lot today, Avran. I'll take it.
All right.
Oh, Chim scratches.
You love it.
I will return to the room with the statue.
Okay.
We're all going to the room with
We
the
all go.
statue.
You arrive. It definitely looks like whoever comes in first. It doesn't seem to be taking any precedent.
Hezrod, are you still next to the giant eyeball, still throwing Eldritch Blasts at it, or have you... I guess
He's
Chad's
not given up with the Eldritch Blast, but he's still like he's like yelling at it and like jumping around. He's like, so it is like the most pathetically desperate thing you have ever seen Hezrod do. Is him trying to
And
get
I've
this.
seen him sleep in horse trough. That's,
So it's still focused on Hezrod, attention-wise, because Hezrod was the last person in the room.
Hezrod, you might want to back away a little bit because I don't know if this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing here in a moment.
Okay. He like turns back and he says, okay, to Soma. And then he turns back and he like yells at the eye and he says, if you need me, I'll be over here.
Hold on one second. I need to check something, and I don't want to do it with you on the map.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that sounds bad.
That sounds really bad.
So he basically like moves back to where he ended up. And he actually just like kind of rearranges some of the broken table pieces to like form like a makeshift seat.
Okay.
And then sits down.
Yeah, or you could just, sit at one of the chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
No, that's his new home. He loves it there.
He built a house out of a broken table. Okay, then what do you do with the icon?
He's resourceful.
I'll move over here. Is it looking in my general direction?
Still looking at Hezrod.
All right, I will pull out the idol and hold it up.
Okay. The tension does seem to shift over to you, kind of look at you. Nothing changes besides that.
If I move the idol around but stay in the same
It
place.
seems to be kind of focused on it, but it's not moving like in a snap kind of motion. Just kind of lazily kind of moving its eye towards it. Like it's almost...
Like one of those eye tests.
It's definitely doing the blinking effect a lot. Make an insight check, Soma. And Estella, since you're paying attention.
Okay.
And you kind of said something that might have given it a good note.
Sorry, hold on.
It's okay. Hasn't been much murder.
Yeah.
The two of you kind of come to the same conclusion at about the same time. It seems that it's trying to focus on whatever it is, but it seems to like you just said, like a seeing eye test, it's not able to focus clearly on it because it's too far away.
He needs glasses.
Oh, poor little guy.
Buddy.
I'll-
He needs a
He can't
monocle.
see without his
He
glasses.
needs a monocle.
He needs his monocle.
I'll slowly move forward, holding it out, kind of at the end of my.
You
reach.
get to the point where the event horizon is located, and it still seems to be kind of focusing. And you know that if you move forward, it's probably going to be bad based on Hezron experimentation.
Well, nobody was attached to this, right?
No.
Particularly.
Well,
That's not my brother.
We'll find you something else.
Not my brother.
I will toss the idol towards it.
Okay. You lob the idol towards the eye. Seems to kind of move straight towards it as if it were being sucked in. The eye seems to kind of widen in anticipation as that happens. And as you kind of watch it hit the iris of the eye swells downwards, almost as if it became like conical, became like a well itself. And you can hear the breaking of glass and the rupturing of metal beneath as the entirety of the floor of the clock just descends down into nothingness. The room's light changes very suddenly.
Oh, shit.
Nobody would have been standing on the clock because that was the event horizon, so you would have been taking damage had you been. But as it kind of sweeps down into oblivion below, you can see white winds and dark winds kind of fluttering about, and at the edges of this you can see mist. It appears that this is a creation font present beneath you. And as this kind of distortion, the clock, the dissipation, the mechanism therein, you hear a very loud grinding sound kind of coming from beneath you, but kind of like not directly beneath you. And you're not sure exactly where that's coming from, but it definitely sounds like something's kind of being pulled back.
The electric room.
To the electric.
Ooh. I want to
Sorry,
fall in that.
Ezra.
Hezron, I
Hey,
did
head
I
that
did the
way.
thing you wanted to do. I blew up the. I'm sorry.
All right.
At least
mo-
we had front row seats.
so the
Well, I guess we got no chief exploder.
the atmosphere in the room kind of changes too. It kind of feels a bit more just still. There isn't kind of like that strange just presence of chaos in the center of the room. And the other thing you notice is that all of the souls that were present in this room that were kind of maneuvering about are no longer there.
So,
Aw, I
shit.
can't
as, like,
read
the thing-
Danish.
Breaks and like the eye sort of like funnels down into it. Hezron gets up and kind of hurries over. He like stares down. He says,
Where did it go?
Hezron, I want to explain something to you, and you will understand it because you were here for it. As you stare down into oblivion, this looks like the space that was in between the church and the sword.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Jonah?
Gibberish to me.
Because you were there as well.
The one with the Hecatoncrates?
So when you moved to get to the Hecatonchires, before
Right.
that,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like-
yeah.
sort of-
through
"Oh shit!"
that space,
Oh,
that's,
goddamn.
that appears what you're staring down into.
Oh, shit.
Infinity, creation.
Do we hear any laughing?
No laughing.
Okay.
Also, no fucking Doom guy running around murdering crazy entities. That's not happening.
Oh, don't.
Do we hear any Doom music?
Doom music is not
Man.
playing.
Okay.
Mick Gordon is not playing.
Okay, so
I'm just saying, Kel would have loved that fucker.
once you have kind of scoped out the scene here, Avran says to the lightning room, and you all kind of rush over in that direction. And sure enough, the lightning is gone, and the two pillars that were on the opposite side have moved astride and entered into their respective spaces, disappearing, showing a grid pattern on the floor that's present there. Yeah.
Hezron pulls out a bomb and kisses it and says,
Sorry, maybe next time.
The pillars still seem to have like a glow to them, but it seems like they're containing the energies that are inside of them. and the space before you is kind of open for you to move past and towards the boat.
Excellent.
Well done, everybody. Great job.
Are we all to get on the
We
boat
did
now?
it.
Wrecked it. Yeah.
I'm on a boat.
Just explore your...
I'm on a boat.
explore-
Everyone's gonna take the first scared steps past.
Okay.
No, I'd sprint. I'd be
Oh, okay.
sprinting.
Okay. You rush over
Full sprint.
in that direction. As you kind of move towards the boat, the spirit forms start to become a bit more manifest, visible, tangible. And you can see that the ferryman is still there. Kind of gives a tip of his hat to Reuben as he approaches. Well, great. You didn't happen to see Kelder in there, or sorry, the train keeper in there, did you? Train master. I forget my own things. You didn't happen to see the train
Nope.
master in there, did you?
Well,
You,
briefly, yes, but he didn't really have any interest in talking to us.
No,
Is
that's
that-
unfortunate.
Is that Clink?
I think he went to a new office.
Oh.
He
Well,
was there, and then he was not.
There was like another manager, a big overseeing eye, and then he got relocated. You know how business is sometimes.
wait. No, the big guy is the train keeper, or train master. Who
Huh.
are you talking about?
There
That
was
makes sense.
this elf.
Never met him.
There must be a lot of turnover
Wait a minute.
back there.
Interesting.
Wait a
Maybe that's why he wasn't responding.
I don't know. Very confusing, to be sure. But
I agree.
you're-
We're here though.
you're
We
here-
made it.
You're here
Can I-
now.
Can I get on
Thanks
the boat?
for waiting.
Can I get on the boat, please?
Of course. You hop
Did
on.
we just erase
You-
Keldor from
you-
fucking existence?
No. You still
You-
remember him.
Okay.
They've
He's-
really got
he's-
to.
We
He's in your brains.
effectively saved him.
You know,
Kind of.
Alright.
outside of the train station, there's this concept that this guy keeps talking about. Unions. You guys should look into those because it sounds like there's just a lot of job replacement happening there. Like there's no protection.
Sounds like some sort of
Well, I thought he
comedy gobbledygook.
kind of points to Ruben. I thought he was going to try and take my job.
Yeah, I mean, a union will help with that. There, if next time I'm here, I'll bring some. There's this guy. He's been handing out
Pamphlets.
pamphlets. Yeah, I'll bring you some.
Oh, okay. As you all hop aboard the boat, you'll note that you're standing amidst ghosts. The ghosts don't seem to have enough room on the boat to all stand independently and away from one another, so there's a lot of overlap. What that also means is because you are corporeal and are stepping
Oh,
onto
no.
this, you are not standing in a space where you are free of the presence of being attached in one way or another to a ghost.
Okay.
Well,
The ferryman very much does have a clear space on the back of the boat, and he moves over to it, and you watch as he kind of raises his hand over the water, and a long stick just appears, like up out of the water into his hand, and he kind of pushes it down, looks at everybody, and says, "Well, onward then to Hero's Castle," and pushes off. The boat starts to turn and move and head towards the middle passageway. Of course, leaving open opportunities for anybody to do anything that they want to do in the process.
Jumping on the roof.
Huh?
I'm jumping on the roof.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You hop up onto the roof.
I look
I
for
want
Zeus.
stick manifestation powers.
Huh? You want stick
Oh.
manifestation powers? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Kill the stick man.
Probably would have come in handy for fishing that sword out of the lake of boiling blood.
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
casual
Someone's
thing.
gonna
More like-
turn
more
to
like
Estella
rake.
and be like,
Right? You want rake powers.
maybe this isn't the right time to ask, but do you think they have a plan for this next part?
You know, at this point, I'm along for the ride. It's rather amusing.
Kel's just
If we
looking.
die, at least we're already here.
True enough.
Kel's looking for Zeus across the boat and saying,
yeah, you find him.
Zeus. Hey,
Sit on his lap.
You come over to
you
him,
keep. No, I'm not doing that.
and you're kind of standing in a position where you're facing
That's
him.
gross.
But you're also kind of present with other
We're
kind of
brothers.
tangible ghosts. and he looks to you and says, "Oh, this is too action-packed of music for this. I need a slightly less action-packed. Let's do this one." He looks directly at you and says, "Moron." Lifts up the note. It is incorporeal, kind of like he is, and he says, "What were you thinking?"
What do you mean? I'm here. I'm here for you. What are you talking about?
I died for you. I can't believe
Yeah,
you survived
well-
that dragon. I thought you were dead anyways. Like my sacrifice was in vain. But then when you showed up,
No. I put two in the back of his head. Don't you worry. I'm here now. It's good to see you.
yeah, I guess. I wish I'd known that I didn't have something to linger on after. This whole
Well,
process has been very demeaning.
I'm sure. I didn't think I'd after I saw you in the train station. I figured I had to come after you.
You didn't have
I
to.
mean, why wouldn't I?
You could have
Well, I'm
just
here.
taken my things back to the tribe and it would have been fine.
Well, I mean, I gave you got your trident, right? Still, huh?
Yeah, but my body was left behind, which means that I'm
Well, I know where it is.
I'm disconnected, Kel. And I had things
Oh.
to do. Make sure you were safe.
Yeah, I'm safe.
You're not. You're not safe.
Well, at least.
You think this is safe? He gestures around you. You realize that you're kind of in this narrow tunnel, kind of moving, through the course of it. Those of you who are kind of present, like it's completely pitch black. If you have dark vision, you're able to kind of see the tunnel wall, and it's kind of a situation where it's completely kind of calcified over. There's like this drip of the sediment. You can see small ghostly white spiders kind of maneuvering across the surfaces of the slick
Gross.
walls. Every so often you see like the bob or the blip of a fish in the water nearby. But when you look down at the fish, you see that its head, like the entirety of its head, is a person's face. And as you're kind of moving through this space, talking to your brother, he says, "This place isn't for you. This place is for people who've
Well-
already done bid it."
Yeah, and we're trying to make sure it's not for you either.
What are you going to put me in to get me out of here? You just said
we're gonna.
you knew where my body was, but you don't have it, do you?
Oh no, you're heavy.
Sorry. You aren't exactly light yourself, especially with all the baggage you're bringing along with you. Dragging
Whoa.
yourself
God damn, he fucking got you there.
dragging
That's
yourself
rude, bro.
to death itself for what purpose, Kel?
For you.
For me, what? I died. I died saving you.
Yeah. Well, I figured I could try to,
If you wanted to do something for me, you should have put me in the ground proper.
Like this noble effort has just very quickly devolved into like two family members squabbling.
I mean, to be fair, it would have been really hard to do that at the time.
No,
That wasn't.
I don't doubt. I'm sure the dragon was the least of our problems. Place seemed like hell
Well,
itself.
I don't think Hezrod's involved in this conversation, but I will point out that he does have that scroll of resurrection.
The boat
We
is
could go back to Siford's Pass.
the boat is small enough that you're really not able to escape the conversation.
Oh, that's fair.
Just picture Ezra on the back.
It's like we're all in the family
um,
room while then they're
yeah.
fighting.
That's exactly the vibe that we need to make sure we're and the more fun fact about it is you're inside of a tunnel, kind of has an echo to it, so
It's echoing.
it's literally like two cowboys yelling at each other inside of a tunnel.
Literally unescapable.
What's
All
even
these
worse
ghosts
is
are
there's
just
no
like-
fucking booze.
Yeah, usually when I've got to deal with these kind of family squabbles, there's a feast, a ball, booze. This is
That is very true.
Everyone's just staring down at the wall.
I mean, I think Hezrod has some tea or something.
So Hezrod, you mentioned something about the scroll.
Oh, right. So, yeah, he would kind of lumber over and insert himself into the conversation, and then he like taps Kel on the shoulder, and then he like reaches into under his armor and like pulls out the scroll, and he says,
I have this. We can go find his body and bring him back.
What? Weren't you something with a hag?
Yes, that, well, that was a failed endeavor.
And you know, I think it's a little too late for that.
He kind of nods his head.
Seeing,
Yeah, a bit too late. Once I pass through, there's no turning back for me. Once I join Heroes' forces, that's it. I can't leave here. And I've already made my decision because I was left high and dry.
hey,
Hezrod tries to grab him.
He kind of reaches forward and kind of, your hand goes right through him. He reaches forward and places his hand kind of like touching Kel's shoulder and looks at you like deep in your eyes. And it's like a soul like staring into yours. And he says, I don't blame you. Okay? I did what I did so you could live. But I do blame you for coming back here. You come through here to try and rescue me with no plan. Okay? That's the part I'm concerned about. Because guess what?
but
I gotta save you again.
what? No, I'm saving you. That's what this is all about.
How are you gonna do it?
I'll figure it out. I always do.
I don't think you're gonna. I don't think you got a.
Typical.
I don't think you have a single fucking clue as to what you're doing.
Never had any faith in me.
I've always had faith on you to hit a target.
That's true.
You're good at what you're good at.
God damn it! Don't butter me up.
I mean,
we're gonna figure this out.
Kind of wish you double tapped that dragon a little sooner.
Yeah, well,
it was hard. I get it. I remember how hard it hit.
I'll point to my backpack and I'll say, if it weren't for Kiora here, I'd still be on the ground.
He kind of says, "That's Kiora."
Yeah, he's in backpack.
Yeah, it looked kind of cuter before. Anyway, look, the only way you're getting me out of here is if you somehow have a means of moving a soul beyond.
We do. What? Who said that?
Sorry. We do.
We do. This is Avran, by the way.
Looks over to Avran.
He's been dead too. See? Look at him. He's been dead before.
Several times.
Yeah,
I pull out the I don't think it would be a good idea with the ferryman.
The escape clause?
Huh?
The escape clause?
Yeah.
It only takes you and yours. It doesn't take extras.
Yeah. Oh no.
Fuck. Okay.
He's a liar.
We don't have one for.
He looks back
at you.
Well,
that was short-lived.
He may have been dead, but I seriously doubt he's ever been in a dread realm.
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I got a lot of the primer from that fox-headed person up at the gate. I'm stuck here. This is it. The only way you're getting me out of here is, well, talk to the fox-head and make a trade, and I ain't gonna let you do that. Or you have some means of containing a soul. That's it.
What if we talk to Hero?
And what?
Would he let you escape?
Probably not. Since I understand it, he's trying to wage war on other dread planes, and I mean that doesn't sound like it's going to be too great, but
maybe we could trick him.
How so?
Or bamboozle him.
How so?
Deceive him.
Deceive's a better word than bamboozle. I don't know right now, but we could definitely figure it out.
He kind of flicks at your face, and he's like, "God, I wish I could smack you."
I'm glad you came.
I don't have.
Hezrod smacks him.
Thank you. I like this one. You came in here without. You came in here without a plan. And what? You're just gonna see me off.
Ah.
That's fine. I'm okay with it. Okay, I'll do what I can to get back to you. If this war goes, it goes. I mean, maybe there'll be a chance.
Well, we're here now, and I guess I better make the best of it.
Yeah, Estella, you're kind of like not really paying attention to it, but obviously you're listening in on it. Like it's not like
Yeah.
the most important thing, and you're kind of in that kind of elvish state of like being cognitively aware of everything, and you can actually see that the tunnel is coming to an end. Like there's
Oh.
a terminus, and
Is there a light?
it looks like
Answer
there's
that question.
a very fickle white. It seems to be kind of like a moving courser of color. And as you kind of get closer to it, what you realize is the canalway exits out into a vast open kind of marsh that seems to be covered with reeds and wildflowers like water lilies, bright red in coloration. But as you come out of the tunnel, it looks like it heads off into a horizon that just kind of falls off like a good distance ahead, but just like it seems like there's an end to the world, so to
Right.
speak. And beyond that, you see just a swirl, an absolute just chaotic swirl of energies kind of pulsing in the sky. And I will grab you a picture here in a second. You've seen it before, though.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
Give me a second here, folks. My handout is being lame. Trying to add all players, and it is not working.
Lame. Too many people on Roll20 this weekend.
Well,
You need to stop.
Well, I guess I'll get off
how
of that.
dare they on a Friday? On a Friday?
Thanks for playing.
How dare they have an online convention?
Okay, I'm annoyed.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's TwitchCon this week, or
Oh.
not TwitchCon, Roll20Con this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Of course it is.
That
TwitchCon
really
was
was
like
a ton.
Two
Yeah,
week
TwitchCon
last
was- yeah.
weekend or 2 weekends
2 weeks ago.
I normally plan
I don't know. I
stuff.
just know that there's broken backs.
I do normally plan stuff, but this weekend has been. I didn't really think it was appropriate. What with I have stuff I need to be doing this weekend with the
Yeah.
family and the like.
Hey, man.
And honestly, I don't know. Oh,
I thought my brother would be more appreciative that I went to the Dread Realm for him.
Okay, come on, computer.
I believe in it.
Was this journey a short rest by chance?
Yeah, granted. Go ahead.
Sweet.
Neat.
Awesome. Love it.
Very, very restful taking a boat through a tight, cramped tunnel covered with ghost spiders. And
Yeah.
Ooh.
I love that. That's good. That's good.
So-
That's a nice
Ugly
picture.
ass
There
fish
are not
people.
silhouettes standing in the waterway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Figured.
that's us.
Not yet.
No,
No, that's the Bear
that's
Lord.
Nutter and Hero. We had
Wow.
that battle.
Yep. So it looks like it just goes off into a horizon that doesn't appear to like be tangible. Like it's a very finite thing. But the swell of chaos before you, Ruben, as an arcanist, you immediately recognize it. The large blight in front of you is
God damn it.
Umbra. It is the Moon of Shadow. And the swirl in the center is the Unending Spiral. It is the source of all creation. It is the source of all shadow. To kind of put this in a D&D cognitive like pacing so you understand, all realms are made of shadow and are connected to the plane of shadow, which is kind of indelibly kind of connected to all other worlds. It's the one kind of source point for all realms. The Unending Spiral is like the center of all the universes, and it is in essence kind of like the source of all creation, but at the same time the source of all terminus. And in this instance, it appears to be very much doing both, as it is a source of creating this dread plane.
Oh, they're pulling directly from the unending spiral to make this dread plane,
Correct.
is what you're kind of saying, right?
Seemingly.
That's 100% accurate.
What's that mean?
Powerful.
yeah, and we probably shouldn't be here, but we're here, so
I mean,
We
while
can
we're here,
leave
we might as well
here,
sightsee,
here.
huh?
We
Might as
can
well
leave. It
sightsee.
wouldn't be too much trouble.
I mean, you've all already made me negotiate with the Demon Prince once. What's a second time?
Yeah, if you're up to it.
In a
We
week.
didn't make you do anything.
Stella just kind of looks at you like,
Do we know what
Oh
the
yeah,
unending
Estella wasn't
spiral is?
there.
yeah, she was not.
Arcanist will know what the unending spiral is, so
But not us.
you would not know.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
neither
not.
was Ruben.
It's not really a faith thing. It's more of a wizardly thing.
Mm.
Gotcha.
Stella, since we last worked together, I actually had done some work as a very good lawyer.
God damn. So you are so full of shit.
That's one way to put it.
You know, we all need our.
We're
own
alive, and only
pursuits.
one of us was cursed. I don't know what you want from me.
So at this point,
Two of us.
it does look like it's kind of just heading off into oblivion, and I am going to make sure that that's because there's about 10 more minutes left. But I just want to make sure that that's
Yeah.
like the point that you're understanding. Like if it continues on, it looks like it'll just fall off. But I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
it's heading to Heroes Castle, whatever, wherever that might be. And again, I'm giving the ground to you. However, you would like to proceed. If you just want to wait it out, that's fine. We'll continue some conversations for the next 10 minutes, and we'll move to that point. If you want to try and do something drastic, let me know.
Like take a long rest.
That's probably not going to happen.
Fairy
Well,
Doesn't
keeper.
seem very safe.
What the path seems to go on forever. What? Could you describe what's about to happen to us?
You're asking the ferryman?
The Fairman.
Oh, once we get to a certain point, Hero will make the way clear for us. My voice changed. I don't know why. I need to be a bit more peppy.
They fucking replaced him too, like they replaced the
He's so
Trainkeeper.
excited.
Goddamn,
He's so
they
excited.
knew
My-
the union.
I seem to have grown a cold because I am very different from how I was speaking just hours ago.
Voice acting is
So-
hard.
It's true.
It is. Pay your voice actors.
Thank you.
But he says, well, I believe that Hero will make the way clear for us. The castle is different every time I've come to it, and it moves a bit. This is definitely the right way, though, and should be along at any moment. If you wish, you can watch it manifest if you stay at the front of the craft. And he's at the back of it, so...
At any moment, as in days, weeks, months, or
It just depends.
could be
What
any
is
amount of
this
time.
field here?
I don't know. This wasn't here the last time I was about. Seems strange to be sure.
The spiral,
Right.
though, wasn't it?
Yeah, so, well, yes, it's always here.
Are the lilies within reach?
Yeah,
Can I grab one?
absolutely.
I'll grab like as many as I can. Just like
So when you pull the blooms, which kind of look like water lilies when you kind of inspected them from a distance, as you kind of pull them aside and kind of get a feel for the actual petals, it almost feels like you're holding like cold cut meat.
oh wow,
And as you're kind of
Is
looking
this some sweet sis
Oh
bloom?
no.
looking down at it, it appears to be kind of like a fleshy, bloody kind of rose that you're holding.
Sweet,
Drops
sweet
it immediately.
sis bloom?
Okay.
feels like the like slap of the cold cut and just like nope.
It hits the water and kind of floats. It doesn't seem to like sink or anything. It floats like a flower would.
Kel,
Um,
Kel, what was that? Did something bite you?
no, you don't want to. You don't touch the lilies.
Why not?
Hezrod, I think we're gonna let this one just
So-
If
sit where it is.
Kel's being evasive. So are there more that, or one that like Hezrod can grab?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a
So
lot.
Hezrod grabs it, and he's kind of at first kind of like, oh, I like the texture, and then he's like,
Sure.
Didn't like that.
they do have an effect.
Every single time there's something that's consumable, Hezrod will consume it.
You know, he's a hungry boy.
Oh God.
Okay, hold on.
If it's what I think it is, it'll have a
Oh,
really
no.
great short-term effect.
You know, it is what it is. That's battle.
I
Will
felt great for
Hezron
5 minutes, and then I
survive?
went into a coma for 3 weeks.
That's metal.
So, yeah, upon consuming the petals of the flower, your hit
Thank
point
God.
maximum increases, and so does your current
Oh.
hit point total increases by 20 for 1 hour.
Good.
At the end of that
Neat.
duration, your maximum hit point total permanently decreases by 1.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, damn.
F.
Since I've made jokes about bloom wine and stuff, John, does Soma recognize the flower as its...
Yeah, just bloom.
Yeah, Hezron, you're not gonna feel great in, like, an hour.
He's like busy, like.
Yeah, just...
He's like, what do you mean? I feel incredible.
just remember that I said that. You know, assuming we're still alive in an hour. Speaking of which, if we're gonna leave, I think this is maybe the last chance we're gonna get. You know, that ticket. Well, paper.
I unfortunately bringing us this far, and I do apologize, everybody. For as my brother here definitely laid out that I didn't have a plan, and you know, maybe we should get out of here.
He looks.
If that's what you wish
I
to
think
do.
this is a bit over our heads.
Your brother looks at you and kind of says, "It's hard to admit, but sometimes you just gotta admit your failure." That's what I'm doing.
Well,
what
and I'll
about our original
point at
purpose?
gonna find your body.
Put it to rest. It won't do much good, but at least show the respect.
It's time to leave now.
It's your choice. I'm just pointing out that if we stay on this boat much longer, we will have to negotiate with a dreadlord, demon prince, whatever.
Ruben says,
Yeah.
Ruben,
Bring it on!
you're kind of like paying attention from the distance, kind of staying close to the ferry keeper. You hear a voice come from below you. It says, "Hey,
Hey.
Hey, look down here. You see the pig?
Wait, how low? How low?
So a massive kind of pig ghost. It's kind of got a bunch of legs through it, but its head's kind of looking up at you.
Yeah, Ruben instinctively said, "Hey," and then it was like, "Wait a minute." And he looks down.
The ghost pig's looking at you, and he says, "This isn't my first time through.
What?
Do you want to get out of here?"
In what way?
I'm not talking to Cal, talking to Ruben.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I mean, so Ruben's kind of already not too happy that the group is thinking about leaving, because wasn't our original purpose to go exactly where we're going, right?
Yeah. The pig is asking
So
you,
he's
"Hey, do you want to get out of here?"
why?
Because I do.
Does Ruben know we already have like an exit plan?
Yes.
We have
Right.
several.
He also has
He
the
also
same
has
exit
a,
plan.
yeah. Well, yeah, he has a separate exit plan.
Right.
What the
Similar.
what the pig just insinuated though is that there's a way for him to get out of here.
For Ruben to get out of here.
No, the pig,
For the
Okay.
pig.
The
Who is
pig
it?
has his own way.
who is a
By
ghost.
extension, if the pig can get out of here, that means that Zeus can also probably get out.
How do you mean to get out of here? He
I don't actually have a way, but you might. Do you happen to have a bag of holding? And that's where we'll end the session for tonight. Thank you for watching those that did. We'll pick up next session with shenanigans. We'll see how it goes
no,
from
don't
there.
you fucking no.
Flips table. Flips table.
Thanks for
No,
watching.
you're not fucking doing that.
Stop in the stream.
Uh,